Welcome, one and all, to episode 2 of Weekly Archangel Analysis. It's your boy, the Peace Dealer, aka Archangel Michael, aka Magic Mike. You already know what it is. You already know what it do. Shout out to all of you showing love and support in the live chat. Definitely grateful to have even a second episode of this and to keep this thing going. It's like ever since that new moon in Taurus, energy's just shifted. But introducing my very special guest and partner. What's poppin', Dolo? What's good with you, bro?
You already know what it is. Like boss, bitch, for sure. Getting ready to get into these goddamn energies and influences in this motherfucker. You already know. Archangel analysis in this motherfucker. Goddamn.
You always looking fresh, man. You always rocking some fresh gear, bro. That's what it do.
I'm in the rainbow vibe right now. I'm trying to be transparent and vibrate with all the frequencies, you know what I'm saying, which is just the colors. So we got that 7 vibrational going on right now.
That's what's up. What you got on your right wrist?
Right wrist. Oh, the right wrist right here. This little bracelet right here. Got some like little gemstones and little crystals and things of that nature. Just for a little energy work. Cool. little energy work that I got based upon little esoteric connections and things of that nature, just to keep me grounded, but also keep me in the esoteric realm also at the same time.
That's awesome. Does the number of like bracelets or jewels you have signify anything? Because I think I heard something about that. Like you want to have 3 or 5 or
oh yeah, this 3 right here. Well, it's a little personal too, but then also on top of that, 3 of them it's a surrounding of something, so I like it keeps me whole and things of that nature. And this is based upon I got these based upon a connection though, on another kind of level though. You know what I'm saying? Then I just kind of utilized the gems as far as rituals and things of that nature down here though. But the backstory behind it is kind of rooted on some connection type shit right now. Everybody, it's a big old energetic esoteric frequency going on right now. So everybody is just trying to find a place right now. So that's actually where this derived from. But other than that, the gems itself, yeah, 3 of them, it represents staying whole, keeping myself whole and things of that nature. And I kind of utilize everything. I got a triangle up under my chair right now. If I was to take the camera and put it up under there, you know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
I would show, matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all this motherfucker. Got a little triangle right there up under the chair and shit. So with some gemstones up under it, some green and blue, and some rocks that got four cuts on it, things of that nature. So that makes sure my thoughts stay in a trine event.
Okay.
That means thoughts stay aligning, thoughts stay going up, thoughts stay in fire, thoughts stay in passion. That's what that means, shit like that. So anytime you're doing any kind of science or whatever like that, or trying to get into some information, put some, even when you go to sleep, get you your favorite gemstones and things of that nature and place it in the right way up under wherever you at. And, good energy will be put into whatever you're pushing out.
Sweet. And that's nothing but facts. If you see my camera go off, don't worry. I'm just going to change some stuff in the background so you could just keep on rocking. But how did you enjoy Moon in Leo? I have my South Node in Leo, and I noticed it's almost spooky. Like every single time the moon is transiting my South Node in Leo, I'm always at like an event. I'm always watching people perform hip hop or perform. And I didn't even expect to go out that night. And I ended up out. It was everything I needed. It was very dope. Blue and Exile were performing, and I linked up with another artist, and I could really feel that grand fire trine. It was really inspiring. How did that hit you over the weekend?
Right. It made me a hermit. I was a hermit. I wasn't seeing nothing. Anytime it's a bunch of energy out that's favoring my energy, it kind of pushed me to the back. So I was kind of a hermit. I was more personal reservation and things of that nature, thinking about my own personal circumstances and situations. And also the moon was transiting my first house. So I was really more concerned about my personal issues, my personal affairs, aka the personal people, places, and things in my life, how to come across better with my personality and things of that nature. So it kind of threw me behind the curtains, for real though. And then by Venus already being in Aries, that kind of threw me off a little bit already, because anytime Mars is in a placement, it affects all Aries. So Mars is in a place that it don't like to be. So I'm kind of confused and cloudy about love and appreciation and value and compromising with other people, places, and things right now. Like all that is a fog for me. So I actually can't wait to goddamn Mars. I mean, not Mars, but Venus going to goddamn Taurus. I can't goddamn wait. So I can get some shit clarity, get some sense out of something.
You brought up something so important because Venus this week, at the very end of this week, we got a full moon and it's going to be on Uranus, which is huge, huge, huge. I'm going to turn my camera back on, but I can't wait till I have Venus and Taurus natally. I can't wait till it's back there. It's going to ground everything. I feel like that's going to be so good for everyone financially too. But what kind of insights? Let's take some time to talk about Venus and Uranus because I think it's going to be so much bigger than we may have ever expected. Any kind of insights you pick up so far?
Oh yeah. This is the twin flame soulmate cloud. Remember everybody was in the goddamn love cloud and that love bug it disappeared. Yeah. Now that love cloud was for like everything in your surroundings or things in your arm reach, and so everybody was just in the love cloud. Period. Now that the love cloud disappeared, and we got the soulmate and the twin flame cloud. This one is a little bigger. This cloud is bigger than the love cloud. So for the most part, it's more scattered away. So right now, everybody is picking up the sense of their twin flame and their soulmates. But the difference is between the love cloud is soulmate and twin flame is more karmic and it's more distant and it's more long. It's like more spread it out. So you kind of have to find these things. And in order to find it, you have to go through trial and tribulation and things and go through your changes and like disclose all previous routines and patterns and shit like that, dealing with love and circumstances. And you have to put yourself in a new situation in order for this soulmate or this twin flame connection to actually take place in this lifetime and not just be in the last lifetime. And that's what's actually going on right now. That little love cloud, that love bud that everybody was getting hit by, we just was getting psyched up, getting ready for this transit. And that was just showing us about love. Now it's showing us what we should be loving. And now we're starting to realize it has nothing to do with our surroundings. It has nothing to do with the people, places, and things we thought we were close to. It has nothing to do with that. It has all to do with connecting with your actual twin flame or your actual soulmate or soul group or tribe or whatever like that. And that's what's actually going to go on. Everybody need to find their individuality when it comes into the love matters and what we are appreciating and compromising with. And that's going to lead you to your soulmate or your twin flame. And it's going to be hard to get there because that cloud is bigger, which means this particle is way more further away than this particle, aka the distance is there. So whether y'all live in the same city, same area or not, it's still a distance there. You could live next door to your soulmate, but it's so many circumstances between y'all. You may have a lot of children by somebody else. They may have a lot of children. Family may, it's like, and that creates a distance all the way to it comes a physical distance to the point you may live in California and your soulmate may live in New York. And it takes a while for y'all to come together. But that's what the sights of love is going to be on right now. Soon as Venus take this motherfucking transit into Uranus. Real shit. Uranus ain't goddamn playing with nobody, especially when it comes to love. When Venus slide her monkey ass in there.
Monkey ass Venus. I don't think I could have said it any better. I'm gonna be really honest. Like the whole presence of like there being that love cloud, and you nailed it. Like everyone really got this love bite, this twin flame craze, this whole soulmate. This is my twin. Did you notice the main issue with people was thinking, oh, this is my twin flame. This is my twin flame. This is my soulmate because of connections that they've had. And the last time we had a cycle, Venus was conjunct Uranus and Aries. So the past decade was for us to kind of expose ourselves to the toxic ways we kind of connect. So if you notice, so many people, you talk about twin flames now, they're like, oh, I don't care about a twin flame. I don't care about a soulmate, versus the rare few who like still are about that life, and it's manifesting now. Okay, let's kind of recap. We had like 2 or 3 cycles where Uranus was conjunct Venus in Aries. The whole purpose of that was to know you are a soulmate, you are a twin flame. And in the projections of that, you learned the ills and the errors of, you know, not going to yourself first in love, but trying to find that in someone else. Like I want to get that kind of out the way, because what did Venus do? Venus was squaring Saturn. Venus was squaring Pluto. And that's why it was so difficult. A lot of you have been wondering why it was like a fight. Well, Aries is a fighter. Aries is a warrior. Aries will drop that, they'll drop you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Venus was really fighting to do, to really maintain your sense of uniqueness. Now we got that. It is finally manifesting. It's the very, very, very first cycle, which is another thing we got to keep in mind. This is a cycle that we're starting right now effectively. This is not just a conjunction that's happening this week. This is the very first time Venus is going to begin a cycle with Uranus in Taurus during the full moon in Scorpio. Like, you really can't plan this stuff. It's really this is what Venus has decided with Uranus. Is going to be trining all the Uranus generation in Capricorn and Neptune and Saturn and Pluto right now. So this is where, just like Dolo said, I think the most genius thing you brought up was like the distance regard here, because now that Uranus is in Taurus, everyone has such a much more ascended understanding of who they are. So you're going to be able to recognize that in a soulmate who's meant to reflect you more so than ever. Up until now, all the stuff that got in your way in relationships are finally resolved. They're finally cleared. And when we talk about Taurus, the zodiac sign of manifestation for real, a lot of you are going to be shocked, because, you know, especially those of you who've given up on love, who've given up on connections. Remember, the purpose of these connections is to fulfill your destiny instead of just kind of like feel happily ever after. So you're going to start to see this plug in like amazingly and be made very real. Uranus is all about sudden awakenings and activations. So this is also connecting a telepathic channel between, you know, you and a very significant other people. So super excited. Any insights about it leaving Aries? Because I think the trine of Jupiter is very lit too. I'll be a retro. Yeah, you know.
I'll go ahead.
No,
yeah, but it leaving. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying Venus at the final degrees of Aries. What did you feel about that?
Oh yeah, it's on the cusp. So everybody was wrapped up in their own self-love. But everybody is feeling that last sense right now. Everybody feeling like, well, should I do that? Is that the right thing to do? And everybody is starting to come to terms and agreements that, okay, it's time to release that a little bit to someone else. Relate that love to someone else. We're getting done with the time. That's getting old and outdated. It's like on crutches right now when you trying to love too much of yourself right now. And it's going to start to look uneasy to other people right now. It's going to start to look opposing to others right now. So right now it's that cusp area. You're stuck in between. Should you love and react to yourself, or should you love and react to others at the moment right now? And it's that little stuck in between. And it's going to be like that all the way until Venus get into 3 degrees goddamn Taurus. So it's going to be like that. So, you know, it's just that last ending fire that we got going on. And plus, it's going to get ready to and we're also dealing with a goddamn grand square right now also. So we need to break things real. We got this grand Earth trine going on. And we got this motherfucker grand square going on right now also. So everything is being made real right now. That's what everybody needs to know. Everything is being made real. Keep that in mind. You know what I'm saying?
So true.
We got a grand trine. We got a grand trine going on with the sun, moon, and Saturn, also including Pluto and Mercury. You see what I'm saying? Because Pluto is in Cap, Mercury is in Taurus, so they adding on to the influences with this grand trine. So we're all forced to see the reality out of our actions, how we see things. We're all forced to see the reality out of our reactions and what makes us feel comfortable and what we're reacting and responding to. And we're all forced to see the reality out of reality itself, how we gain structure in our lives, and we'll replace and receive boundaries and restrictions and limits. But by this being an Earth trine, this creates, we have the gift to do this. So right now, we're not doing this in a harsh way. We're doing this in a harmonious way. We're all paying attention to our own and other people's actions in a realistic way, in a harmonious way. We're all seeing this with our emotions and feelings in a harmonious way. Even if we got minor disagreements, we're coming across in a harmonious way because it seems to make sense and is realistic at the moment. Then we got this goddamn grand square going on with the moon, Jupiter, Neptune, and Mars, because they all in goddamn mutable signs. So we got this grand, not this grand square, but it's a square. It creates a square, but between the mutable signs. You see what I'm saying? So for the most part, we need to know that we're learning about mobility right now. We're learning how to be mobile. It's like a wrestling match on 4 sides. You got Neptune on one corner, you got Mars on one corner, you got the moon on one corner, and you got Jupiter on one corner. Now Jupiter is in Sag, Mars is in Gemini, so they're opposing each other on the ropes. And then you got freaking the moon being in Virgo, and you got Neptune being in Pisces. So these two is opposing each other. Then they having a 4-way match. So we're forced to learn between how we're reacting, our dreams and creativity, our meanings and reasonings to things, and our passions and motivation. AKA our moons, our Jupiter, our Neptunes, and our Mars. And this is what we're forced to learn. And we're forced to learn mobility in that area. So we got to learn how to be a little bit more mobile in these areas. We got to learn how to be a little bit more mobile in our emotions and our feelings, learn how to be a little bit mobile with our dreams, and learn how to be a little bit more relatable with our creativity and our imagination. We have to learn how to be a little bit more mutable with our passions, our intent, our motivations. And we also have to learn how to be a little bit more mutable with our experiences, our advice, and our wisdom and knowledge. And that's what we have to learn right now with this grand square going on with the mutable planets. I mean, the mutable signs. Because we got the moon, Jupiter, Neptune, and Mars all squaring each other.
Actual factuals. And let's not forget, anytime we have a grand cross mutably, your life is changing forever. You're changing perceptions in your life. It's a highly critical time. This is the last week we're going to be fully in Taurus season. Next week, it's the season of enlightenment and mild drama, as Mercury is going to conjunct the sun 0 degrees Gemini. I think only experienced astrologers know that's like flipping the switch on. I just flipped the switch. This week, we literally have, if we go day by day, Venus, the moon starting off in Virgo, okay, just like you said, enacting this cross by the 13th on Monday, and really manifesting this gift. And then we step in to the moon in Libra, the 14th and the 15th. Around this time, how ironic, we have the moon in Libra, which rules Venus, and we have Venus switching into Taurus. Bit of a reach, but very relevant. So we have the moon in Virgo, and then we have the moon in Libra, the 14th and 15th, moving from an opening trine to an opening quincunx. Don't sleep on the quincunxes, guys. Quincunxes, when we talk about lunar cycles, prepare the foundation for you to take what you've activated with this cycle, in this case of Taurus, manifesting values that give you a sturdier foundation. And around the 14th and 15th, push this forward so that you can relay this to the appropriate people in your real life, who in your life honors what you value, because any clashes will lead to the moon in Sag, where you cut, snip, and that leads us to the 16th and the 17th and the 18th, where we not only have this full moon, but Venus, mark your calendars, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th. We not only have Venus on Uranus, but we're also going to have Mars sextiling this Uranian aspect, in Cancer with that North Node influence. So this week is such crunch time. We even have Mercury that's going to be catching up to the sun. You have any insight about this Mars aspect that's going to be sextiling Venus as well?
Mars sextile Venus. Now, for the most part, now we're kind of dealing with that right now on we're just gonna be pardon me, we're gonna be dealing with it in different energies and elements. But in a nutshell, when this sextile goes on with Mars and Venus, this makes our love, appreciation, value, relativeness, and our ability to compromise with others have a direction to go. And it's going to create an opportunity. And this opportunity that it creates, we're actually going to see the passion out of the things that we love. We're actually going to see the passion out of the things that we value. We're going to see the passion out of the things that we compromise with. Now, if you're utilizing too much energy and putting too much into it, then you're going to see the anger out of the stuff that you love. You're going to see the anger out of the stuff you're willing to compromise with. You're going to see the anger and aggression out of the things that you're willing to relate to. So you have to keep that in mind also. And when we're going through these sextile energies, and one transition into one element and one transition into the other element, that's when the game changes a little bit. So things will be modified. For an example, Mars is in Gemini, so that takes our passions and motivations and put it in a communicative style. You see what I'm saying? So we're more passionate about what we're communicating about and what we're analyzing about and what we're rationalizing about. Now, once Mars goes into the other element, which is goddamn Cancer, then it's kind of debilitated. It's gonna be weak. So for the most part, don't be too passionate about stuff if it ain't got nothing to do with foundation, comfortability. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, when we talk about passion is dealing with fire. That's why Mars is dealing with fire. So passion is dealing with transformation and birth to something, aka a new creative idea, a new imagination, a new fire. So that's what it represents. The initiation of something. But for the most part, fire or new birth or transformation also destroys. It also destroys. So for the most part, when we talk about Mars being in Cancer, a lot of times that passion and all that Mars energy can destroy a household, can destroy the things that make you feel comfortable, can destroy the things that's close to your soft spot, can destroy your foundation and cause a lot of domestic issues that didn't necessarily have to be there. And it also, Mars also plays out like a fiery light. So it also brings a flashlight into your sector that you want to proclaim to be private. So for the most part, it brings a lot of outside influences or attention to your private life also. So it could be a very uncomfortable time also when we got Mars going into Cancer. So what you need to keep in mind is, if you don't want this to be an uncomfortable time, try not to participate too far into your passions and motivations if they're not backed and supported by a form of comfortability. AKA, if your passions and motivations is backed and supported by trying to travel everywhere or trying to do this, that, and the third, or trying to do a bunch of spontaneous things, then that is not the way you need to be correlating Mars, and Mars is going to make sure it strike your ass down. Now, what you need to do is take your passions and motivations and direct that towards ways and people, places, and things that make you feel comfortable, things that's dealing with home, things that's dealing with being satisfied, things that's dealing with manifesting and having other people feel comfortable around you. And once you can have that kind of passion, that passion will be able to manifest into other different ways that you won't even know that you could have did, because you're trying to do all other kind of passionate things. And then by sextiling Venus, and we know Venus is going into the earthly energy, this is going to create that situation where things can be stable and be appreciated also. That home and family and that comfortability and domestic issues that you're getting rectified and getting all these outside out of your private energy, you'll be able to have be able to appreciate that as a form of stability once Venus go into Taurus also with that sextile, because it's going to create an opportunity for you to love and appreciate and value everything that you have done as far as your passionate energy towards the home or creating comfortability. You're going to appreciate it if you riding the wave.
So genius to bring up domestic issues, because we do have the opposition to Pluto and Saturn, so it's not going to be a pretty transit. There's something about this week that's just so pivotal to me. It's honestly like so legendary. Maybe because Taurus is like Aries is my 12th house and a bit of Taurus, but like the fact that we have Venus shifting gear. We have to remember, when Venus was in Sagittarius, Mars was in Aries, just starting the cycle. Mars was the first one out the gate, paving the way for the rest of the planets to really come through. And now Mars is square that in Cancer, and Venus is caught up in Taurus. Soon as they're going to meet in Leo. So I think it's amazing how Venus shifts, Mars shifts, and Mercury catches up to the sun. So I love to explain this. I'm going to explain this as much as I can. The reason why Mercury has to retrograde is because if you have Mercury move so fast, if you have Mercury, moving quicker than the rest of the planets that come around, our ability to process is going to be way ahead of what we're aware of. So Mercury passes the sun and it processes energy and information ahead of us, stations, retrogrades, which doesn't mean it moves backwards, right? But it just moves a bit slower. To us, it looks back. It looks like it's moving backwards. The sun starts to catch up to Mercury as it's reevaluating and reviewing. They pass information like, "Oh, hey, sun, this is what you need to keep in mind as you move forward. This is information that the messenger has gathered for the king. I'm going to go back and review what you have now shed light on," right? And then Mercury goes direct. And as it catches up to the sun, it's like, hey, everything that you were aware of, King, Sun King, like, here's the synopsis, here's the actual, like, understanding, and bam, we have an epiphany. The fact that this is going to be coming through, into Taurus, where it's already past Uranus, and like light codes in your body, secrets of your body. If Uranus in Aries awakened your spirit, Uranus in Taurus is awakening your body, right? Like secrets and techniques and abilities that you could manifest your Aries spirit through your Taurus senses. And now there's a huge realization that I'm sure so many of you have been aware of as Mercury slowly but surely catches up to the sun. And with Mars, in Cancer, I see that as like starting to master also, psychic projection. Mars in Cancer is going to allow us to project our psychic life force energy field and to really tune in to our emotions in an aggressive way while we're so ingrained in our body. And that really makes me think about the compatibility and synastry between Cancer and Taurus. Cancer and Taurus is like Pisces and Cancer and Taurus, where like none of these zodiac signs need to exchange any words. They can just give you a glance. They can give each other like a look on their face. It's purely body language. And the way that you express your body language is through your feelings. I'm not going to say anything right now, but you're still going to know a bit. I'm doing a bad job of this, but you're still going to get an idea of what I'm saying because I feel my emotions. I talk with my body, right? I'm a Gemini, so I just have to talk. But like outside of that, like a lot of you are going to have the ability to really feel what your body is communicating. And this is also going to switch gears. We're shifting gears from Venus in Aries and Mars in Gemini, which was a lot more masculine, to Venus in Taurus, Mars in Cancer, which is going to be a lot more unspoken. You know what I'm saying? People are going to be showing you things without telling you. They may say, hey, what's up? But the way that their body winces when you're around them shows maybe they don't like you like they're acting, right? Like there's always indicators physiologically that show whether BS is being spoken or you get chills if you hear something that's really shocking to you. These are things that are going to bring up all this internal energy that's been developing for what? Superpowers, supernatural abilities. And now as Dolo hit the nail on the head, this soulmate twin flame energy is going to have you now start to manifest this with relevant other people. We're doing it right now as the $1 Billion Vibe Tribe, right? As Flight Boss is coming through as well with your tribe, with our tribe. And really, I think we kind of need to pat ourselves on the back, everyone watching this, because we're so busy, being great and doing this work that it may be hard to notice that we are building a tribe of people, and not just me and Dolo, like everyone kind of involved in this. We are a part of a very, segmented part of society that actually has the courage to speak on these issues that most others still look as pseudoscientific, evil, of the devil. So, I kudos to all of y'all for really trekking and staying true, because it's a week like this that's manifesting why. Mars on the North Node is aligning your actions. So how do I feel sincere about what I'm doing? And it's just amazing. I'm totally looking forward to that, especially how we shift.
Right. And yeah, and we just going through a whole big confusion cloud, conclusion cloud, a soothing cloud, a smoothing cloud, everything, especially with today's moon opposing Neptune also. So, you know, we're forced to analyze and rethink our dreams and imaginations and our creative aspirations and our faith and things, our moral systems and the things we was putting meanings and reasonings behind. Like, we're forced to rethink these things. We're reanalyzing these things right now. We thinking about it. Have we made a mistake or not? You know what I'm saying? We're going through all these emotional changes right now due to the fact that the moon is opposing Neptune. And we know Neptune is in goddamn it, what freaking Pisces, and the moon is in Virgo. So for the most part, we're forced to react and respond in a logical way, in a way that makes sense. But we're being forced to react and respond and make sense out of our dreams. And dreams and imagination doesn't necessarily make sense. You see what I'm saying? This is something that's in a figment of our imagination, something that we haven't willed into existence yet. So we're forced to look at these things as, is this something we want to will into existence, or is this something that we want to keep in the figment of our imagination? And we're being forced to rethink, reanalyze these things right now. And then once the moon move into Libra, it's going to put us into a situation where we're going to relate that. We're going to communicate that, because we're going to be forced to react and respond to communicating on a one-on-one type of basis. So we all going to be verbally communicating what we're actually observing right now based upon reacting and responding to our dreams and analyzing these things. So whatever we keep in the dream world and whatever that we want to manifest, we're going to start verbally communicating these things once the moon go into Libra. And then we got the moon going into goddamn Scorpio, which is going to be a goddamn full moon. So we're reaching a conclusion to this movie before the movie end. You know what I'm saying? You know, the movie always ends once we start a whole new cycle and things of that nature. But for the most part, we're like 6 signs in from Taurus. So once the moon go into Scorpio, we're reaching a conclusion to the movie. So whatever role you've been playing in this movie, you're gonna find out based upon the conclusion when the motherfucking moon going to goddamn Scorpio. And it's gonna be an action-packed one. It's gonna be a one that change feelings. It's gonna change emotions. It's gonna be dark a little bit. Something's gonna come from behind the closet. You're gonna discover something that you ain't know during this time. Something's gonna be figured out about. You're gonna figure it out if you was manipulated or not. All that shit is gonna come to the light. So goddamn, it's gonna be a juicy ass movie. And this movie been going a lot faster than the last movie. But goddamn it, this movie gonna be intense once the moon going to goddamn Scorpio.
I'm glad you brought up the movie analogy into this too, because you know it's like we've been building our roles. And once again, I just need to reference like Uranus and Aries. I feel like and shout much respect to all the cardinal signs, especially the Aries, that had to hold space for us. The only reason why we were able to, as a collective, process Uranus and Aries was because of Aries suns, Aries moons, Aries risings. Like, in order to show us, you know, how to really step into this energy. I feel like that created the character. Like when you play 2K or when you play like a video game that allows you to create your own character, I feel like that a part of that is Aries, right? Where you create the identity, you create the image, what it looks like, who this is, and now we're able to like manifest this avatar and fill it in with depth and substance and, you know, what this person has, what this person's worth. So it's a really amazing time to stand up for yourself, stand up for your value, and to really own up to the movie you're in. But do you know what type of movie you're in? Which, you know, some people do. Some people are still trying to sort out whether they're in a drama or a comedy or a weird combination of the both of you know, all of them. So it's definitely interesting. I love how you tie that to Scorpio too. The moon being a Scorpio. That's so true.
Right.
This full
and if anybody want to know what movie we're playing right now, always go based upon the new moon. The new moon is the first scene of the new movie. So we had a new moon in Taurus. So this movie started based upon stability, what's practical, and what makes sense in your life. So this movie is about gaining stability in your life, gaining foundation in your life, making some money, materializing whatever structure or creative art that you was putting out in the world. Now it's time to create that as a foundation. That's what this movie about. This ain't no action-packed movie or things like that. This is a movie about realizing reality and realizing how to gain structure in your life or things of that nature. So this may be like one of those type of movies where someone trying to discover their own talent, but they go through a bunch of harshness in their life, aka a bunch of earth element, in order to gain stability in their life. And then once the movie ends, Whether you know if you planted bad seeds or good seeds, you're going to know based upon what you have manifested. But that's where this movie is about. So if your mind ain't on gaining stability in your life in any type of way and utilizing all the signs that the moon went through after the new moon to actually do that from where the moon was starting at in Taurus, then you're actually playing the wrong movie right now. You know what I'm saying? And then once this movie ends, when it's starting over again, then you're going to need to know that your ass ain't gained no stability in your life in some way, shape, or form because your ass was playing the wrong role in the wrong movie. So you went to the wrong movie theater or something like that. Hey, you played the wrong movie. Your movie was in passion or fire or emotions or thoughts or something like that. No, the movie we on right now is stability, foundation, and making your creative arts real. Earth.
Yes. Emphasis on making them real and actually grounding them into something that can stand and be structured. Well said once again, you know what I mean? Like knowing your talents like never before, because the second house and third house is all about skill sets. And this is why once again I'm harping on, you know, a lot of you had to go through disappointment and pain. A lot of you thought, myself included, a lot of you thought you knew like what you wanted when it comes to love. You realized you were wrong. A lot of you thought you knew what you wanted when it comes to your career. You realized you were wrong. Maybe you were right, but you realized the direction had to be totally different. Maybe you were in the right direction, but you realized you had to perceive it through experience so much different. You know how you just get so excited for something and then you have it and it's like, this is it, or damn, this is not really what I expected. So, you know, whether you were totally successful or totally a failure through this, you had to experience this. And I know collectively, I feel nothing but shame and guilt. I mean, I see people telling me, I can sense people kind of look at me like, are you okay? Do you feel miserable? Or what's good? Like, what's up with your energy? And I'm Gucci. Like, I'm totally grateful. I have Pluto exactly to the degree on my moon, and I have Saturn, King Kong Sing my son, on my moon. So I feel the world's like collective pressure. No one can really lie to me. Like I can sense stress like this. Like there's a lot of collective shame and guilt, I guess, because of expectations placed by your parents or ruling governances and orders and society. You feel like you might have had something to prove, and you don't realize that the mistakes you've made, the failures you've had, are the very reason why you're going to manifest the greatest success ever, because now you have the experience of what it shouldn't look like. Now you know what to expect so much more. That's not to say that there's not more to learn, but I think no one's going to sleep on Taurus after this, because our ability to produce and manifest is just going to be God tier, like on another level. And I'm going to say this over and over, you know what I'm saying? For the first time ever, there's nothing new under the sun, but for the first time ever, we are part of a collective that is under our very nose manifesting supernatural abilities. This last cycle was for us to manifest psychic abilities. Psychic abilities is not really supernatural abilities. Not everyone is supernatural. Everyone is psychic. So the last cycle, we had to manifest claircognizance, clairvoyance. We had to take our natural cognitive abilities and really manifest and really be aware of gifts that allow our psychic abilities to sense that which we don't really see without, particle observers or, helping us understand emotions. We had to bring it back to basics. Everyone had to go through the synchronicity train to understand, wow, there are influences that guide us. Wow, this is actually a thing. Wow, this isn't of the devil. Wow, this is actually a part of my makeup. Wow, this is who I am. Wow, this is what I represent. Wow, I can do this. I can do that. Wow, all these concepts are not really a lie. And now it's in Taurus. And it's like, bloop, it's real. Now everything you've learned, now it's time to do something with it. Now it's time to take the grapes you got in Aries and make wine with it while it's in Taurus. So we have Mercury in Taurus, and then we have Mars in the North Node in Cancer, and we have Jupiter in Sagittarius making it quincunx. And it's actually this quincunx that's allowing you to feel physiologically the changes in our experience. You can blame Jupiter and Sagittarius for this evolution and ascension of our beings and third eyes so that we can be aware of, and I'll say it again, supernatural ability. And this is where, when you think of supernatural ability, you look at sci-fi movies, you look at Hollywood, you look at superhero movies that they've been pushing to prepare us for to kind of give us a visual of what this is like. Watch Chronicle if you want a more realistic view. But it's like we look to the big things. Well, we won't think that we're supernatural if we don't fly. We won't think that we're supernatural if we don't stop time. And it's something that you see when the whole basis of this is small, it's subatomic. It's the small things. God is God. They express themselves through the little things, the mundane. There's so much beauty in the mundane. It's what Uranus and Taurus are showing you, where you are already expressing this. You just need to be aware. You just need to be able to perceive at milliseconds at a time to really take everything around you. And one of the amazing things about this week is you're going to really uncover and reveal power and abilities that you have always had, but you have never really seen in the right way because your parents demonized you for it, because your teachers demonized you for it, because you were made to feel that it was bunk, that it wasn't special, and you're having to re-own this. Mars in Cancer is the second mutable cardinal sign from Aries. So it went to Aries, sparked your power, went to Taurus, strengthened it, went to Gemini, enlightened it, and now it's going to Cancer. Boom, it's going to project this. It's going to really bring this out. So once again, super excited. It's going down. Recording. And any type of what do you think we should release for this full moon? Or if there even is a need to release, because Moon in Scorpio is going to reveal secrets that we're not ready for, but are so necessary. And
right.
You know, there's no square to Leo, there's no square to Aquarius, which is really, before we had that South Node and North Node and Leo square. Now it's really open, so it's definitely a much deeper insight into like bridging the psychology of your physiology.
Right. Especially right now, during we got still got the moon squaring Mars, and that's putting us in a situation where we still have to learn from our own frustrated past, our own frustrations that we couldn't get over and things of that nature. So it's like the moon in Virgo is kind of like preparing us before we get into the sextile with the moon being in Scorpio. Because it's like it's making us learn a bunch of things based upon this trine, but also this the square elements it got going on also, because you got the moon squaring Mars. So like I was just speaking, the way we're reacting and responding to the world that we are in and how we are feeling comfortable, maybe in an uncomfortable way. So we're being forced to learn how to feel comfortable with uncomfortable circumstances and situations. So if you're a person who like to hide from uncomfortable tit for tat or conversations and things of that nature, that's not going to be good right now. You're going to be planting bad seeds. Right now it's time for like the release. Like I said, it's getting us prepared for this releasing, because the moon don't even fuck with goddamn Scorpio under any circumstance or situation. So before it gets there, it's preparing you right now for whatever do happen when the moon go into Scorpio. You'll be able to transform yourself and don't let this moon going into Scorpio and this Pluto effect transform you for you. You see what I'm saying? You want to do this shit for yourself. So right now, it's preparing you to be practical and make sense out of things based upon these square energies with the moon squaring Mars and the moon squaring Jupiter. You know what I'm saying? The moon opposing, because you got this old square alignment right now. So it's also opposing Neptune. But with a square in Jupiter, we're forced to learn from our experiences right now. Our experiences and things that we have accumulated in our experiences making us slightly uncomfortable right now. But we don't know what to do to rectify these things right now. So for the most part, we're being forced to react and respond to forms of advice, wisdom, knowledge, meanings, reasonings, being on the internet, looking at videos like me and Archangel Michael Peace Dealer doing right now in this motherfucker and shit. This is what everybody is tapped into, especially jumping into this twin flame and this soulmate energy. Also, everybody is wrapped up into this energy. And also on a smaller degree, you know, we was once in the age of Pisces, but we in the age of Aquarius right now. So for the most part, we're experiencing a mini version of this by Neptune being in Pisces. So by Neptune being in Pisces, we're all experiencing a mini version of when the age was in Pisces. So for the most part, we're all taking our own mini versions, dreams, and illusions of creativity and making religions out of it. So right now, we're all religiously heavy into our dreams, imagination, creativity, and spilling these things out in a spiritual nature. So for the most part, once we do that, we got this sextile in Uranus. So once Uranus and you know, Uranus still at an early degree of Taurus, but you're still going to feel the energy. And for the most part, we're going to be able to be unique and original individuals when it actually comes to that circumstance and situation of bringing our dreams into reality. But the dreams we bringing into reality may be super religious, super spiritual in certain ways, shapes, and forms, and things that's tied into our dreams, illusions, creativity, and imagination in some way. But we're trying to finalize these things. You're trying to build some grounding on these things, especially with the sun being in Taurus right now also. So, you know, that spotlight is still on what makes sense. So you could go in the dream world all you want and things of that nature, but it still has to make sense. And once you make it make sense, you're actually riding the wave that we're on right now. And the moon transits is taking us right into that position, because each planet, each body of water takes us through a circumstance or an experience, but in a more longer period. And the moon helps us deal with these things. So the moon is like our periods. The moon is our moods, our tides. It helps us emotionally conduct ourselves and prepare ourselves from the influences that we're getting from the sun, Mars, Venus, Saturn, Jupiter. This is why the time frames are spread it out differently. So when we get the moon going through things, and then once we got the moon in Virgo right now, square in Jupiter, as long as you're reacting and responding to your experiences in a harmonious way and not feeling like you have to react and respond in an opposing way and force your advice onto other people, then you should be able to ride this wave and learn from your experiences and don't get washed up under the wave and then everybody looking at you like they can learn from you because you did something dumb. No, you want to be on the opposite end of the energy, and you want to be the one who got wisdom and advice and being back to sit and look at everybody else experiencing stumbling, falling, and things of that nature. Because everybody gonna stumble and fall with this Uranus placement, and this Uranus placement is in conjunct in Jupiter for the most part, because the planet's so far out there. I know it's early degree, you know what I'm saying, but by it being a far out planet, it doesn't matter how early the degree is. Once it's in a sign, it still carry out the influences of a sextile or square or whatever like that based upon the alignment to the inner planets. So keep that in mind also.
Facts.
Right.
So well said. The most important thing you said was that you are going to trip and fall. And this is why I always said Jupiter and Scorpio wants you to embrace your insecurities, because now we're in like we're so much further in the go time. And how can I prove that? Saturn is at the third decade. Okay, you can't get deterred by your mistakes. You need to be so much in belief of yourself that you look at your mistakes like, okay, what's my soul trying to tell me? Because there's always a message here. And you'll realize, okay, it really wasn't a mistake. It's really just a mistake based on how you might perceive it. And that's not to say that you still can't, call yourself out on certain things. Someone says, what does that mean in conjunct Jupiter? It's a quincunx. In conjunct means that one planet is 6 signs away from the other planet. So we have Uranus in Taurus, and then the opposition of that would be Scorpio, but Jupiter's in Sagittarius. And that is called an inconjunct aspect. I think another amazing thing you pointed out was just because it's not exactly in conjunct doesn't mean that the aspect doesn't take place. Yes, it does take place. And quite strongly too. Uranus and Jupiter in conjuncting is as simple as Uranus and Taurus, literally manifesting a higher vibrational reality, while Jupiter in conjuncts it in Sagittarius to completely transform the landscape of how we perceive this. Kind of like Pokemon Go, where you had an augmented reality, Neptune and Pisces, over this real reality where Virgo is. So like this is giving me chills because a whole lot of you have been feeling this deeply. Your soul have been guiding you to this realization that we're headed into. Once again, next week, the beginning of next week, we are going to have 0 degrees, Mercury in Gemini, conjunct Sun in Gemini, opposite Jupiter in Sagittarius. This is such an enlightening realization about who you are and who you're meant to be in this lifetime, that it's going to just plug you in to the next season's lessons. And this week is going to prepare you for that by sparking some of the most powerful intuitions that you've ever had. See, Mars was squaring Neptune. It was opposing Sag. So you were gaining intuitive insights, but you're trying to make sense of it. Like, why do I have this connection to someone who's in a relationship? Why do I have a connection to this job, but it's a closed door? And you have to remember, intuitive insights are outside of space and time. So it's not going to be giving you these feelings based on what's happening now. You could be picking up on a connection that's going to open up now that the energy is shifted. You could be picking up on an opportunity that's going to open up now that Mars is conjuncting the North Node. So this is going to really, with Mars that's now aspecting Neptune, Venus that's going to be sextiling Neptune, bringing an initial manifestation of the dream that Venus promised you when it was conjuncted Neptune, which once again, like the reason why I'm saying supernatural power is that this is Pluto in Capricorn. Pluto in Capricorn has such a hard job because Pluto is what's responsible for deprogramming and purging the subconscious and unconscious programming that you've picked up since childhood. That's what really a Pluto sextile to your Pluto helps do, because until you're 18, until you're like 15 or 10, you don't really make decisions for yourself. Your whole life is receptive. You're taking in your parents' beliefs, you're taking in your colleagues' beliefs, you're taking in society's beliefs. You are told this is what you have to do, this is who you have to be. Pluto hits a sextile around your adulthood so that you purge all this programming. You take what works for you and you leave what doesn't. And then, of course, trines are for older people who've had this mastered and they have a stronger hold over their society. So this is so iconic because your level to understand your intuitive abilities is going to give you so much greater freedom, Jupiter and Sagittarius, to create. And I heard something yesterday that I didn't realize. Apparently, some of the, please correct me if I'm wrong, but apparently some of the planets, if not all the planets, were born out of the eye of Jupiter, which furthermore kind of confirms that Sagittarius is the creator god of the zodiac. It's that energy that sparks, you know what I'm saying, life. I once again want to fact check that because I don't know how true that is, but it does make sense. If, you know, a long time ago, out of the eye of Jupiter, some rocks kind of came out, which eventually formed our planets. But regardless, you know, Jupiter is still going to help us respectively create our worlds, manifesting your inner life to your outer life. And it's an honor and it's a privilege. The moon in Libra is going to be squaring Pluto, though. It is going to be squaring Cancer. It is going to be squaring, you know, the North Node. So there's a decision that has to be made. Much love, Malika. Thank you. There's a decision that has to be made. Who in your life really values who you are? That's what the moon in Libra, the middle of the week, wants to ask you. Are you still entertaining frenemies? Are you still entertaining people in your life? You know what I'm saying? That don't
You hit it right on the point. Keep going. You hit it right on the point.
factual? Are you still entertaining people who, you know, still make excuses for you when you're holding out your time for them? That's why I really appreciate you, Dolo. Like, we're making a dream come true. So many people have wanted to see us collaborate, and we decided to come together and, you know, commit to a weekly series. You've shown up for 2 weeks in a row, and I'm nothing but grateful for you for that. You value this commitment towards each other and for the collective. So that lets me know, Moon and Libra, I can rock with you. You can rock with me. And you want to take that analysis to every relationship that you have.
Right.
Really.
Yeah, that's real shit. Yeah, I ain't really got nothing to add on that. You didn't hit everything on a pinpoint. That's what everything is exposing right now. Everything is exposing true colors and things of that nature, especially with all this Earth energy being in our external planets. As far as like Pluto and Uranus, they both in Earth, and you know they getting helped out with Neptune being in the middle and Neptune being in Pisces. So everything is being forced to reality. Everything is being forced on the front page right now, on the front sheet right now. And what was in the pages that wasn't on the front sheet was: is this your friend or not? Is this your support system or not? Is this your soul tribe or not? Is this your connection or not? And right now, all these is like, it's like a child and took the book and start ripping off all the pages. Now those pages are now the front page. So now you're forced to see that first on the book. You're forced to see if this your real friend or not on the book. You're forced to see if this your real support system or not on the book. It's like everything is being drawn into reality that shouldn't even be in this reality right now, because we have our external planets being in Earth. And the way that they are in Earth, they're in cardinal and fixed. So it's putting us in a situation where our stubbornness and consistency is going to be pushed out there, and our initiating and creating skills is going to be pushed out there. And it's going to be pushed out there to put the test. And it better make sense. It better have something to do with reality, or you ain't going to do nothing but set yourself 10 steps backwards. And that's what it's forcing us to do with this Pluto changes in Capricorn and these goddamn Uranus changes in Taurus. And that's good that you brought up about the Uranus transit in Aries earlier, because now it's y'all turn. It's actually the Taurus sun, moon, and ascendant's turn to be looked at by everybody else to know what we supposed to do or what we not supposed to do. And it's going to be hard on y'all because y'all the examples. So it ain't no one for y'all to look towards. Y'all just have to, everybody just have to look at y'all. So for the most part, it's like y'all gonna go through all the hardships, y'all gonna go through all the new stuff, y'all gonna go through all the birth, the transformation and stuff like that. But at the end of the road, it's gonna be a beautiful piece of gold at the rainbow. And everybody gonna be able to sit back and be like, damn, that's what we were supposed to be doing this whole little 7 years of this little transit that Uranus is gonna be doing in motherfucking Taurus. And right now, it's going to look scary. Everything that Taurus is doing, sun, moon, and ascendants, everything that y'all doing may appear to be scary. May appear to be like, nah, I never do that. May appear to be like, nah, that's something that's going out my way or whatever like that. But slowly but surely, you're going to start to see the world go in that way. So you might as well know this ahead of time and get with the program. We're all changing and coming up with our unique and original individuality when it comes to gaining practicality in our lives, gaining stability, gaining foundation, and a form of loyalty coming from a person, place, or thing. And then by trining Pluto, Pluto is forcing transformation when it comes to status. Like you can look at government, the governmental status, presidents, kings, queens, whatever you want to look at. All that went through a transformation period. You can look at it. If we want to get to the US, Donald Trump is the president. Pluto is in Capricorn. Capricorn, cardinal Earth, initiating and creating new ways of how to think and be practical. Everything that falls under that is status, what you're known for, how you're seen, like 10th house energies, prestigeness, your status, I already said that, your career, business, government, structure, organizing, all that. We see a whole transformation in that. And then we're not seeing a light transformation. We're seeing a slight dark one, but a one that just makes sense at the moment. You see what I'm saying? Because Capricorn is not like a all fluffy, light, positive sign. This is low-key a dark sign. So for the most part, when you got Pluto going through Capricorn, the transformation that's coming with status may be in a dark way. So we're all kind of afraid and a little scared of this transformation period that we're going through when it comes to status, banking, money, Everything is getting us prepared with Pluto in Capricorn, letting us know. You see all this Bitcoin type shit and all kind of transformations going on. God damn it, we might not have no president after Donald Trump. It might be something else, a whole new kind of. Oh shit, I'm still on. Oh yeah, it might be something else, a whole new kind of governmental system, a whole new law system. And I guarantee the next way of us voting and laws and things is going to be more participating towards the internet. So it's going to be a whole new viral way of how to vote and all that shit, aka another transformation when it comes to status, government, law, what we're known for, banking, organizing, structure, aka motherfucking Pluto and Capricorn. So yeah, y'all just get prepared. You know what I'm saying? Bunch of y'all motherfuckers on food stamps, y'all ain't gonna never get y'all goddamn stamps back until this transit leave. It's
Woo!
that deep. It's that deep.
Yep. The most I think our generation is responsible and a part of like the greatest rise of entrepreneurship and just being able to create your own lifestyle, getting it how you live. So we're going to get into the breakdown of the transits for each zodiac sign. Dole and I will break down from Aries to Pisces. And then after this, we will get into the live readings. Shout out to Tiffany Richards. You are first on the list. And I did get the change. So for those of you who are wondering where the super chat is, once again, that is turned off. So for those of you who want a live reading from Dolo and I, go to the description box below. You'll be able to find a way to join the list right now. And what we're going to do is basically, based off your sun, moon, and rising, break down transits. Dolo will break down your transits. I'm going to pull a card from the Hermetic Tarot. Okay, teamwork in this bitch. So other than that, Aries moon, Aries rising, you totally got your work cut out for you. You know, you have this 10th house energy that's transforming your legacy. You're transforming the way people look at you in the world because of the work that you're bringing in. My father is an Aries, and he recently, you know, opened up a business, like a food place. So I thought that was kind of interesting, and in the 10th house sense, and being that you're developing your second house right now, this is all about changing your perception, especially this week, regarding your worth, your value. And what a lot of you are going to realize is, damn, I've been charging this much for my time. I think I might need to raise that price because I'm doing a lot. I'm giving so much more value than I thought I was. The effect is so much greater. So yeah, keep that in mind. Definitely own up to your value and don't bring it down for nobody. My opinion.
Yep. Yep. All right. And so Aries and all Aries right now, sun, moon, ascendants, and things of that nature. Right now, you're getting prepared right now to learn how to be more fluid with your communication, learn how to think, learn how to analyze, but that's going to go to a drowning out space. So you're going to have to learn how to kind of temper back your passions, temper back your motivations. Don't be so explosive. Even though I know we're getting into the summertime and things of that nature, you need to know, Aries, for the most part, you got to chill out because look, Mars is going through a transition between Gemini and is going into Cancer. So for the most part, you have all this time period to get out and communicate your passions or have other people to communicate about your passions and things of that nature. So therefore, you had a lot of opportunity from the sextile. Now, once you take this, don't go overboard with whatever ego that you have obtained. Don't go overboard because the Mars is going into Cancer. So now it's time to cool off and take all that energy. Instead of going overboard, take that energy and direct it into the home foundation and getting more comfortability. Therefore, you'll be more open to manifest what you need in your life. So don't get too much passionate, Aries. Don't get too much passionate. And also, because right now your status is being transformed. Your whole status is being transformed, and that's what you have to learn right now. Learn how to take your passion and stabilize it so it can look more comfortable for yourself and others that surround you. Because don't forget, Pluto is in Capricorn.
Facts. And the card we got for you, Aries, is the Ace of Swords, Lord of the Root of the Powers of the Air. This sword is going to cut through all illusions as you really open up amazing and profound victory. This makes perfect sense. Mars is at the tail end of Gemini. So it's like whoosh, cutting through the bullshit. I see like Aries is going to be the one who really opens up this level of like awareness for just the right people to kind of get something right. You know what I mean? To kind of get it, to kind of have people see the right way and, you know, kind of create justice. So I'm going to let you start with Taurus right now, and then I'll follow your lead.
All right. So, all right, Tauruses. Now, this is what y'all guys need to understand right now. So, look, right now, you guys need to understand more self-love. All you Tauruses, y'all in a circumstance and situation where you need to understand more self-love. So you can take all that inner passion and things of that nature and don't express it out too much. Make sure you're containing it a little bit for yourself so you can be seen as a representation of it. Because for the most part, when you got your ruling sign going into freaking Taurus, sorry about that. When you got your sign going into your sign, you're gonna have all the representation on how we're supposed to love, appreciate, value, and how we're supposed to relate to others and things of that nature. So right now, you're gonna be the one teaching everybody on how to love. You're gonna be the one teaching everybody how to express these things and how to have a little form of stability in these times. And like I said, right now, whatever you're doing may appear to be a little scary because Uranus is already there. So it may seem a little scary. You may feel like you don't know what you actually doing right now. But whatever you're doing right now, you're setting the trailblazer. I mean, you're setting the path. You're setting the trail. You're setting the goal. You're setting what we're supposed to do because we don't know what to do. So right by you feeling not knowing what to do right now, you need to know that you're not alone, but also you're the leader right now. So Tauruses, right now, you just got to know that it might be a scary circumstance or situation, but the moment that you put yourself out there to know that you're loving yourself at the moment, and then once the Venus go into your sign, you're going to be the one that everybody looking at on how to love. So don't get shaky based upon the people that you are around and making them make you feel like you need to give more of yourself to them or you're doing the wrong thing. Nah, that you on the opposite end. You're their example. So whatever you do is what we need to do because the universe is in your favor. So whatever you're doing is what we need to do. So that's what you need to keep in mind. Don't get gullible. Don't get passive on us. Whatever you're doing, Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, that's what we need to do.
Beautiful. And to add on that, I would say you also want to be mindful of, Taurus, you know, how you are defining yourself this week. Taurus, the whole purpose of Uranus in your 12th house in Aries was to release this false narrative, was to come front and center with certain shadow qualities within you and to see them for what they are, but to know that despite how other people may see it, that's not the true essence of you. And now you have the ability to rebuild anew. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, Taurus, you broke down the Jenga and now you're restacking from the base, and you get to rebuild yourself the way you want to, not the way other people or your experiences or your environment kind of influenced how you were built. Okay. And, you know, be prepared to harness a much more authentic sense of your power and strength in ways that allow you to upgrade the level of what you are also manifesting. This card literally just popped up, and we have the Lord of Defeat. All right, the Lord of Despair and Cruelty, and the Last Judgment. So you're filtering some dark, negative shit, but don't be perturbed by this. I feel like you are this Lord of Defeat, Taurus. I feel like you're definitely going to confront certain chaotic energies once and for all and truly gain a sense of your integrity through this. So keep that in mind. The conflict that will arise this week during that full moon is meant to show you what is needed. And like Goddess Essence said, the greatest purge is due. What's up for Gemini, though?
Want me to go first or you going first?
Yeah, you can go first. We'll just take turns.
All right, so Gemini, you know, so well, when we talk about Geminis right now, Geminis need to be a little bit more stable, consistent, and a little bit more practical when it comes to your thoughts, your way of communicating. So what that means is don't be so fluid with your communications. Don't be letting everybody know what's actually going on right now. Don't be telling everybody what's on your mind right now. Don't be telling everybody your goals and ideas right now because there's a lot of entities out here that want to shoot it down. Now, based upon Mercury being in a earth sign at the moment right now is anchoring your thoughts to be that way. But if sun, moon, and ascendant, you're going to be naturally fluid with your ways of communication, which that's where Mercury and Taurus is going to create that brick wall for you to let you know that you need to make a little bit more sense or be a little bit more practical in your way of verbally communicating, because people out here are being more concerned and taking this thing internally. And also right now, Geminis, you need to know that you're being misunderstood when it comes to reality, and things that's going on when it comes to your stability, and also you're being misunderstood when it comes to your transformative circumstances and the things that you're trying to take power and control over, or you may have people in your life trying to take power and control over you in some way, shape, or form based upon a misunderstanding of something that may not even necessarily need power and control taken over, based upon this in conjunction that you already naturally have with your alignment with Saturn and Pluto. So keep that in mind, because they're both in Capricorn. So the way you gain stability in your life and your reality is going to be challenged because it's going to be misunderstood. So anytime we got an in conjunction, sometimes you may have to forcefully assert that energy in order for it to be understood. So sometimes you may have to forcefully assert your way of communicating in order for people to understand how you gain structure in your life, aka based upon a person, place, or thing, job, or a resource. And sometimes you may have to forcefully assert what you're trying to gain power and control over, so people can understand the transformative circumstances that's actually going on. Because if that communication not there, it's going to be a circumstance of a transformative situation that go into the dark based upon the misunderstanding with your sun, moon, or ascendant going on with the in conjunction with Pluto. You see what I'm saying? And also stabilize your thoughts and make sense out of them before communicating everything. And that just means don't be too gossipy at work. You know what I'm saying? Don't be too communicative, letting everybody know your plans and things of that nature. And therefore, you won't even suffer the misunderstandings based upon the in conjunction that your sign is going through with this Pluto and this Uranus transit. I mean, the Saturn and this Pluto transit.
Facts. And, with Venus, that's going to be transiting your 12th. While Jupiter's in your 7th, this is literally setting you gems up for divine partnerships. So for those of you who are single, be very mindful, because there's going to be opportunities to connect quite authentically with people who are only invested in growing with you. But this really starts with you, Gemini. How are you going to bring your amazingness into partnerships with other people as you express your talents nonetheless? Okay, so before Dolo goes in on Cancer, the card we have for you is the Lord of Blended Pleasure, the Four of Cups. This is definitely a lot to do about contemplation of your feelings, but this is going to really set you up in a feel-good way and allow you to really remember the things in your life that you are content staying comfortable in, while also reevaluating how you feel. So allow yourself to sit with your feelings quite accordingly. And yes, let's hit Cancer. What you got for Cancer, Dolo?
All right, Cancers right now, it's all about work.
Yeah.
All about work right now, Cancer. So right now, get your mind straight. Get out your feelings. Get out your feelings. Keyword, Cancers. Get out your feelings, because right now you got an opportunity to make things work. But if you're stuck in your feelings, you ain't gonna do nothing but create an opportunity of you looking at more of the details and you looking at things like, oh, it's not perfect enough for me to dive into, and then you gonna miss the opportunity, because you need to understand that your sign right now is in Virgo, which is gonna help you create an opportunity for you to actually make things work. Whether it's dealing with work, health, routine, whatever you're working on, whatever you got scheduled, whatever you do on a day-to-day basis, and stuff you hold up to criticize or look at the details of, you know what I'm saying? All that right now is going to be in favor for you for these things to work. But if you are stuck into your emotions, then these things are not going to work, because you're going to miss the opportunity, and you ain't going to do nothing but create an opportunity of overanalyzing these things. And you're not doing nothing but overanalyzing your emotions. And for the most part, you're already going through a turbulent time right now based upon Saturn and goddamn motherfucking Pluto. So you are already going through a transformative time right now. Your home, the way you stabilize your home, the way you gain comfortability amongst yourself, all your privacy, all that is being challenged right now. All that is being challenged. Also, how you see reality, how you gain structure in your life, that's being challenged. And you got to transform all these things. And your ability to do that is utilizing the sextile right now between your sun, moon, and your ascendant, which would be Uranus and Taurus. So if you could just jump into that energy of being more of an individual, being more your own unique self, and not being in your feelings, And the way you could do that is jumping into your sextile energy, which is being more practical, being more stable, making more sense out of your emotions and feelings, aka Uranus being in Taurus. Uranus, be an individual, it being in Taurus. Be an individual in a practical way that makes sense. None of those words deal with feelings and emotions, Cancer. So for the most part, this week, get out your feelings and let the moon work. Therefore, whatever you got that you want to see manifest, it will work out. As long as you get out your feelings, because that's the first ways of manifesting. The state of being that you in, the emotions that you got. Cancers, get out your feelings.
Whoop, whoop. I literally got the Justice card, which is all about objectivity, looking at things logically. You need to weigh your feelings with the logic around you. And this is because Cancer, you're so goddamn psychic that once Mars goes into your sign, this God of War energy is going to have you take action you cannot go back on. So you have to make sure you're not making these decisions emotionally in a fit of rage. It's facts that Cancer individuals are the most statistically arrested for passions, crimes of passion, murder, because y'all get angry and then you see red, and I get it. Just be very mindful, because despite that, you still have Pluto and Saturn opposite you. So the dark forces are at work through other people, and it's up to you to not go back into your shell, but to hold people by their necks with your pincer and let them know that they can get it too. So keep that in mind, because that shady element of sensing dark intent from others is not going anywhere, but your relationship with it will give you extra power because of Mars. So something to keep in mind. What you got for Leo, bro?
All right, now, motherfucking Leos. Now, look, check this out. Don't be too much in your passions or attention seeking right now. It's time to be calm, cool, and collected right now, because everybody is looking at your actions. Now, you already get attention, Leos, but for the most part, everybody is looking at your actions, but not in a way that you would like it to be. Because for the most part, your sign is in Taurus. I mean, your planet, your ruling planet is in Taurus right now. So the way people are looking at your actions is a way right now, in a way that maybe they're learning from you, and they're maybe learning from more of your mistakes than your positive attributes. So I don't care how much favor or how much energy you're giving out right now that you think is positive. People may start looking at that like that's negative. People might start questioning you like, okay, you giving too much of your energy out. So for the most part, you have to kind of harness your seek of getting attention and being center stage right now, Sun, Moon, and Ascendants, Leos. Also, you're placed into a circumstance that you're experiencing the same situation as Geminis, because you also are in conjunction when it comes into the alignment of Pluto and Saturn. And for the most part, I would say you are the feminine end of the in conjunction. Gemini will be the masculine end of the in conjunction, because they externally verbally communicate their problems that they're going to get ready to go into. You're going to internalize the problems that you're going to get ready to go into. When it comes to, you're going to feel to yourself that you're not transforming. You're going to feel to yourself that you ain't got power and control over people, places, and things that you're around and stuff like that. Then the pride going to start flaring up, and you don't want it to get there, because once the pride starts flaring up, then you're going to act in ways, and people are going to be looking at your actions in a Taurus way, like your actions don't make sense. Your actions ain't practical. Your actions make me uncomfortable, and therefore this is going to be a bad spring for you. Also, when we talk about Saturn, right now, you're going to feel to yourself that you're not being seen realistic. You're going to feel to yourself that people is not caring about the way you gain structure in your life. So you may even jump into that flare energy up again and want to show off how you gain stability in your life, and there you go. People are going to start looking at your actions again like, wait a minute, that don't make sense. Chill out, Leo, you going too far. So right now, Leos, it's all about calming down and relaxing and being a little bit more relatable, and don't be trying to take the sunshine all the time, because you got something to learn right now. So keep that in mind. People are watching you. You're being watched. Leos, you're being watched. All Leos, Sun, Moon, and Ascendants, you're being watched. So make sure your actions, take care of your actions. Take care of them, because they're being watched.
100%. That 10th house aspect is totally building a whole new world for you, with Saturn and Pluto transforming your lifestyle. Are you ready to step into luxury, Leo? And some of you are already like tasting luxury and are in it, but are you ready to define luxury unique to you? Where, maybe it's in style to do something, but you're now making something in style because you're doing it. So really embrace that as Venus goes into your 10th. y'all are going to get the greatest career rewards. People are just going to be loving what you put out. And if they hate it, they love it anyway. So don't really be perturbed by any negative info, and just really, really enjoy this establishment of your presence, because it's beginning a new wave, especially with this new moon. So I have the Two of Swords, and I split the deck, and I got the Hangman, which looks very similar, right? We have this kind of axis here, which is definitely both about, this says Lord of Peace restored, but I kind of see this as keeping silent about certain things. You're in a situation, Leo, where you're indecisive between going with what your heart wants to do versus what your mind thinks is logical. And the Hangman is saying to surrender and release. This is how you're going to hear that inner voice within, and really not allow yourself to get manipulated by people who want to kind of pressure you to make decisions. So keep that in mind, Leo. Don't feel like you have to make a decision before you're ready. And instead of kind of venting or expressing, keep some stuff within for now, and it'll totally be better.
Just chill, Leos. Yeah, just chill. Perfect.
Nice. We on Virgo now.
We on Virgo. Okay, so look, so Virgos out there. So like things kind of smooth for Virgos right now. I'm gonna keep it 100. Y'all went through a little rocky period, maybe a week ago or two. It was all good a week ago. You know what I'm saying? But it was rocky a week ago. I'm gonna say that for y'all. But right now it's a little smooth. It's all good this week for y'all. So, but for the most part, you go through a little minor trial and tribulation due to the fact. But we're gonna break it down for a little bit. Now, for the most part, the way that you are reacting and responding, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant Virgos, right now, everybody are looking at that like, okay, this is the way to be. This is the way that we need to act. This is the way we need to react and respond right now. Very calculated, motivated, because also, motherfucking y'all sign, y'all ruling, I keep saying sign, y'all ruling planet is in Taurus. So it's giving you the energy and the gift to be able to come across well. So you're not coming across as in a misunderstanding way. You're not coming across. Actually, you got the gift of gab right now. So whatever you're trying to manifest, you got heavy manifestation skills. The only problem you guys may have is actually Jupiter, because you guys are not seeing the experience and not extracting the wisdom and knowledge from the experience in the right way, aka you're not seeing what you're actually going through in the right way. So you may be looking at the details or analyzing the wrong things, but your manifestation skills is on point right now. You just got to know what you're manifesting, know how to look at the details and analyze the right thing so you can be manifesting the right thing. That's the only little problem you have. But for the most part, you guys got the gift to transform yourself. You ain't got to allow Pluto to do that. The only way you allow Pluto to do that, you must be a negative person in a low vibrational life with a bunch of stuff going on right now with you, a bunch of stuff on your mind and heart. Because goddamn it, you are a trine with Pluto right now. So Pluto is just giving you the gift, like, here, transform yourself. I don't got to do it. Transform yourself. And now if you don't take it, you got something else. You got something else coming for you. But goddamn it, this Pluto giving you the trine. Saturn giving you the trine too. Saturn is like, look, people looking at reality from you. So here's a gift. You know how reality is right now. You know how to gain structure in your life. You know where to place and receive boundaries and restrictions and limits. So where these other water and fire signs and air signs may not know where to place boundaries and restrictions and limits based upon a job, a relationship, or whatever, yo ass do. Take this energy and utilize that stuff. Don't get washed away by the people you're around right now. Take this energy and utilize that. But for the most part, the only problem you may have is this Jupiter being in Sag and it's squaring your Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. So for the most part, it's putting you in a situation where you're not observing your surroundings. As long as you observe your surroundings, you'll be able to manifest what you want, and you won't be manifesting more detail and having to look at bullshit. So keep that in mind.
Amen. And just like you spoke on with Sagittarius squaring you Virgos, this is expanding the inner joy. It's expanding the inner sense of yourself. It's expanding the God within at the cost of having to be all the way out your comfort zone. And Virgo, Uranus in your 8th house, while it was in Aries, kind of did a lot to shock you out of behavioral patterns and force you to be more intimate and more passionate and more sexual. So this Jupiter in the 4th could be pretty painful, because it's like you're having to come to terms, even though Jupiter is a happy planet, it's like you're having to really be vulnerable, and you don't really like that. Some of you think you do, but it's easy to see how with people you can't trust, it gets messy. And so that's what this Taurus season transit is stabilizing so very well, and allow this to really enhance your working philosophy as the material you're learning from and the stuff that you're going to be teaching people indirectly will pave the way. Just keep in mind, Mars will be in your 11th. So expect near the end of this week for some arguments to come through with, some of your friends getting exposed for certain ulterior motives, whether good or bad. And we have the Justice card, just like Cancer. So this Libran energy is wanting, it's different for you, Virgo. This is, talking about accountability, but Virgo, you're gaining karma on your side. There's a wrong that you've been wrong that's going to be righted. I made that word up, but it's definitely going to balance, connections with people that were not fair to you. And now it's like because you've kept it real, certain people are going to be able to see, oh, this is how I've been unfair. Okay. And it's urging you to hold others accountable. I think, Virgo, sometimes what you do is you allow certain people to take advantage. Even though Virgo has this reputation for being anal and critical, some of you Virgos will allow some other people to not be fair to you. And it doesn't matter if they're close or if they're friends, you kind of have to call them out. Some, not all. Okay. So Libra, this is definitely going to be an amazing week because you're breaking through not only personally, but this is extending through intimately. You're going to be a lot more intimate with certain pre-existing partners, with certain friends. This card wanted to come all the way out. And it's really going to challenge you critically as Mars enters your 10th house, and you're going to have to be a little bit of the villain. You're going to have to really take action in your public world that balances the private pain you're feeling and shows people more sincerely what you're going through. But, be very, very much so expect some people to misconstrue a lot of your intentions, as this will reveal those who kind of secretly have it in for you. And it's not going to really be like that so extremely. This could take place in a more petty way with friends that you'll still get along with, but it's very important you watch how people respond to your actions. Who is clapping for you? Who's not clapping for you? This is going to really let you know what to do as this energy moves into Gemini, where it all comes to light. And we have the Page of Swords, the Princess of Swords, okay? The Princess of the rushing winds. You're going to be alerted to the truth of a situation. Many of you are going to be learning new techniques and maybe uncovering maybe new languages or studying material in a new way. But there's potential for gossip here, and someone's going to inadvertently let you know what other people think, probably on accident or just to kind of see what you think. So, yeah. Any other insights, Dolo?
That's actually right. Because for the most part, that's the theme I came up with: seeing the light. You're gonna actually see the light about how people see you in some way, shape, or form. That's how things gonna play out. Because for the most part, we got Venus, which is your ruler sign, on a very late energy of Aries. So for the most part, you kind of been experiencing this energy period, but for the most part, it's going to materialize once Venus goes into Taurus. But for the most part, by Venus being in Aries right now, Aries brings the light. The sun is exalted here. For the most part, the sun falls in your sign, so a lot of times you be in the dark about how people actually see you, Libras, because you be so cleaned on how trying to gain relationships and things of that nature. But when your ruler sign is in Aries, for the most part, it's going to be like a big old flashlight of how people see you, based upon what Peace Dealer just said. You're going to realize certain gossip that been said about you, certain people actions that ain't geared towards your best favor. You're going to be seeing this now, that you're going to be like, dang, I've been seeing them do this the whole time, and I ain't know this whole time it's something against me in some way, something that ain't in my favor. I'm getting the short end of the stick. All these things is going to be getting exposed, and for the most part, you're dealing with a lot of the energies that Aries is dealing with, also due to the fact of Pluto and Saturn squaring your energy right now. So for the most part, you're learning to have to deal with reality and learning to have to structure your reality in a way that your status can be better. You may be put in a bad light right now. people may be putting your status in a dark space, saying bad things about you on the internet or social media or something like that. And then you're going through a transformative situation in a dark way, not in a positive way, because you're squaring Pluto right now based upon your sun, moon, and ascendant. So it's putting you in a situation where the transformative circumstances that you're going through may be a little chaotic, maybe something you feel the need that you need to gain power and control over. And you may try to do it based upon verbal communication. And once you start to verbally communicate what you need to gain power and control over, that's when you're going to start to see the light on what these people these people actually think about you. You see what I'm saying? You're going to actually start to see what these people start to think about you, because you're actually verbally communicating now your actual deep frustrations and your deep desires and passions at the moment. And you're going to learn from these things, because Pluto is going to take you through that transformation. So keep that in mind. The light is being seen for you Libras right now. So following this week, don't be surprised if you hear something or see the signs that's something that you might not like in your mind.
Bong water sauce. Amen. So we have for Scorpio, I'm already intuitively picking up some or most of you are going to war. And I don't mean war in the traditional sense where, oh, I don't agree with you, so we have to fight this out. I mean purely military strategism or strategy, where you're really having to analyze and look at people's actions with such greater scrutiny. Of course, the sun, Venus, Uranus is going to be in your 7th house. The landscape of your relationships with others is changing forever, because your intuitive ability to sense even deeper into others is changing forever. You're going to read body language to now balance what you already picked up psychically. So where before, where you can feel something about someone and then you get confirmation later about it, you're feeling something about someone and then Uranus in 7th is giving you confirmation now with their body language. This is going to allow you to connect so much deeper with people. And I love it because I have the 10 of Cups. So when it comes to relationships, when it comes to love for you, this is going to be rather divine. This is going to be rather blissful. A lot of you are going to have that taste of happily ever after in your energetic makeup. Actually, I hate to even say that because it's even greater than that. I think it applies a lot more to your job situations, as many of you can net dream jobs. So that's what I got for you, Scorpio.
Right. Oh, yeah. And Scorpios, y'all see things before they're coming. But for the most part right now, that's what y'all actions is backed and supported by. Y'all actions is backed and supported by seeing what's coming. And by y'all acting in that way, it's actually causing turmoil. It's actually causing bad things that's coming in y'all life. Because for the most part, here's the thing. See, y'all sun, moon, and ascendant by y'all being Scorpios is opposing the sun. So for the most part, y'all actions and the way y'all act right now, people is like it's in a distasteful way right now. You could not be doing anything at all, and a person will make up something that you're doing wrong. Keep that in mind. Mercury also is opposite y'all. So right now, people have dark thoughts about y'all. So a lot of times on the opposite end, people could be thinking about y'all sexually right now, or on the flip side, people could be thinking about y'all negatively, putting this negative energy on you like you're more negative than them when they're the one putting this energy on you also. So keep that in mind. But reason why I say you can see things before they're coming, and the reason why you're already in that energy and acting that way to make people look at you in the first place this way is because your energy when it comes to your sun, moon, and ascendant is actually sextiling Pluto and Saturn. So it puts you in a situation where you create, just by you being you create opportunities to transform yourself. You create the opportunity to see reality and gain structure for your life and place and receive boundaries and restrictions and limits. So by you doing these things, you already ahead of the game where others may be lacking because they're not into astrology. They're not watching this. So when they come across you, you act opposing to them. You act opposite. When really you're just in the energy that they supposed to be in at the moment, but they're just being washed up under the current. So for the most part, it's just like you got this gift and a curse right now. It's like you have a choice. It's either you want the relationship or you don't. If you want it, you know you got to deal with motherfuckers who are not understanding what's going on right now. So you might have to put a little more extra work in for it to work. Or if you don't want the relationship, you know you're going to have to work and play out the way you've been playing it out in an opposing way, and having people still look at you opposing and you not caring to be relatable in that circumstance. But it's like your choice. But you see the outcome of it in general. And based upon your actions being predicated towards that outcome, it make other people look at your actions like you don't know what you're doing. And you probably don't even know what you're doing right now. But I just told you. Now you know. Now you know what you're doing. You picking up and creating all these opportunities between Pluto and goddamn motherfucking Saturn. And motherfuckers ain't seeing the reality of shit like you seeing it. Motherfuckers ain't transforming their own self like you didn't already took the opportunity to. So they just catching the energy after the fact once they reach you. And then once they catch the influence, now they realize, I'm like, dang, this person was actually what I was supposed to be doing. So keep that in mind.
Man.
People gonna look at you at odds right now, but they just don't know it.
That's what it do. And once again, happy Mother's Day to all you beautiful mothers out there. Congratulations. Forgot to mention that. Sagittarius, we got the Ace of Swords for you. The Ace of Swords is talking about complete and total victory. I think I got this card for Aries too. And both of you are fire signs, because what's happening this week especially is taking your observations on other people and really coming into such a great epiphany. This Ace of Swords for you and Aries is going to take everything you've been confused about and now make everything make sense. And then you're going to know exactly what to say to who, and it's going to open up very powerful doors for you. The 6th house transit with Venus is going to polish your lifestyle, and it's going to break you into so much more money, because we have your 2nd house activated and it's fueling to a 6th house. Twerk Bill, what you got, Dolo? What do you feel about Sag?
So all Sagittarius out there, y'all gonna have to learn how to react and respond in a more harmonious way. You know what I'm saying? The way that you've been reacting, and responding to shit may have been putting you in situations that you had to learn from. AKA, you've been getting the wrong reactions, you've been getting the wrong responses, and you've been sitting back to your own self in your own room like, hold on, I thought I did the right thing. I thought I did the right traits. So right now you're being forced to react and respond in a more harmonious way. So learn how to sit back, temper back all that little fire, that energy that you got a little bit, relax it, and learn how to be a little bit more practical, a little bit mutable with it. Now, for the most part, you still got things going in your favor because you understand what's going on as far as the general experience. So a lot of times the way you act, you be acting from an overall standpoint, and you be thinking you be doing things for the sake of others, for the benefits of others, but you're not knowing that other people need to experience these things also, and they need to experience what they're doing wrong. So before you jump into and try to give them advice thinking you're doing something for the overall, that's when you're going to set yourself up for a fall or defeat or a scraping or a wound, aka a situation that's out of your favor. And then Jupiter already being in retrograde is kind of letting you know that. So right now, it's just about chilling out, learning how to react and respond in a more harmonious way. Everything don't need a teaching or preaching like energy. Everything don't need a situation that you need to make yourself a part of because you think you're making the whole circumstance better for everybody that's involved. No, you're not. You see what I'm saying? So right now, you might need to chill back, relax, and that can go for your relationships, your family members, your associations, and you at work. Now ain't the time to take the upper higher road just because you think you're the only person who see the whole situation the way for what it is. No, right now you might just be blinded in a god or goddess complex right now. Now it's time to sit back or let somebody stumble and fall. Therefore, you can observe the situation right, and you'll have a better way of reacting and responding to the circumstance that we are in due to the fact that the moon is squaring you right now. So keep that in mind also. So yeah, to sit back and align yourself and learn how to react and respond better. And how you do that is observing others and letting others be who they are without you getting mentally frustrated because they're not expressing themselves in a way that you feel comfortable with to be around this person and to make you feel like you need to detach from this person. See what I'm saying? Don't want to burn no bridges or anything of that nature. So relax.
Actual factuals. And you are a fire starter, Sag, so be careful. Capricorn, this is not a surprise. The 5th house is the house of romance. We have Venus going into your 5th. This week in season is all about love for you. It's all about opening your heart. It's all about defining what you love. It's all about really engaging. So we even have the Ace of Cups. Some of you may get pregnant, and be very careful now because Venus and Uranus in the 5th of children is like unexpected pregnancies for some of you, whether planned or not. But there's a new love. There's a new emotional connection to your heart first. And then whoever you share that elixir with is whoever gets it. What you got, bro?
Oh yeah,
what do you feel?
The gift. The gift. So the gift could be a present, a child, a new relationship, a new business opportunity. A lot of Capricorns right now got the gift because a lot of the energy is in you guys' favor. Now, like I said, by Pluto being in Capricorn, see, Pluto is going to be Pluto. So that may not necessarily be a good gift. You may have the gift to go through transformations right now and everybody to look at you like, okay, that's something I'm not going to do. Sun, moon, and ascendants and motherfucking Capricorns. But for the most part, you still got favorable energy to show everybody what we can do. You see what I'm saying? And just in general, you drawing out the blueprint right now. So for the most part, everybody looking at you guys' actions as in favor, something that we can add on to because we know the sun is in Taurus. But for the most part, by you being a trine, your actions is something that can be added on to in a favorable way, in a trine way. We also got the moon in Virgo right now. So for the most part, people are reacting and responding to you in a harmonious way, even if you are negative to them in their life at the moment. You know how you get, you Capricorns can be dry and cold sometimes. People are looking at that right now, considering it being a good thing right now. That's actually a good thing right now, your coldness and dryness. So for the most part, boom, that's in the house right now. For the most part, Mercury, the way you guys think, communicate, and analyze, you guys is already on board. For the most part, your ideas could be added to in a favorable way, or friendly debates and things of that nature. Only thing that may actually going on with you guys, we got this transitional period going on with Venus. So Venus is kind of teaching you, making you learn how to love yourself. But when Venus is going to transition into Taurus, you're going to be able to feel a little bit of energy like, okay, now I know how to do that a little bit. It's just for the most part, just, Capricorns, the ball is in your court, basically. You know what I'm saying? Just don't be too overbearing. Anytime the ball is in your court, don't be too overbearing. And that means too power and controlling. Just because you got all the good ideas and advice and stuff, try not to be too over controlling of the people in your life. Because the people in your life, a lot of times, start to feel like they're employees. And once they start to feel like they're employees, people are going to start asking for shit. And once people start asking for shit, then you're really going to get frustrated. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to start cutting people out your life because of that. So for the most part, get into it with the energies. The ball is in your court. Just don't be a ball hog.
Just don't be a ball hog. Amen. So we got Aquarius and Pisces, and then we're going to go straight to the live reading. So far, we have 9 and 9, so we'll knock these out. All right. Aquarius, we have for you your spaceship landing. This is a theme that I'm really wanting to kind of like share. Aquarius, you're landing your spaceship. Like for so long, you've been in an abstract world. You've been in the cosmos. And then Uranus was in Aries and you were like in the atmosphere. You were starting to come a bit lower, but you were still out. Now it's in Taurus. You're grounded. A lot of you Aquarians are grounded for the first time ever. And don't get it twisted. Aquarius is already a grounded sign, even without Earth. Not as grounded, but this is totally going to make more realistic a lot of your exploits. We have the 8 of Cups, the Lord of Abandoned Success, but the 2 of Pentacles, this infinity symbol. So do expect this week for you to kind of just call it quits or walk away from certain people who you seen potential in, but they just don't really see your vision. Don't wait for them anymore. Walk away. And Ballsy, your court now, Dolo.
Yeah. That's a good segue because right now, you forced to be an individual, but you're forced to gain stability in your life right now. You're not out here to try to communicate and associate yourself with every person, place, or thing right now. You're here to stabilize your own foundation, your own home, your own comfortability, your own stability, your own something that you can be loyal to, whether that's a person, place, or thing. But before you get that own, you have to understand you can't be a part. And that's the things y'all may get confused, Sun, Moon, and Ascendants, Aquariuses. You may like to be a part and be an individual, but you got to have to learn how to take all those groups of things that you was a part of and take one thing out of that and make it a part of what the secluded space that you are in so it can be part of your individuality. Otherwise, and that could be a person, place, or thing. Otherwise, you need to know things are becoming real. Things are becoming stabilized, and you're here to understand your individuality in a more stable way to gain structure in your life, not your individuality amongst a group, amongst a pack, amongst a social arena, because you already do that. You've been doing that your whole life. But goddamn it, your ruling sign is Uranus and Saturn. Now Uranus is in Taurus, so you're here to calm that down. You're here to kind of separate yourself from trying to be an individual with the associations and the grouping, and you're here to kind of slowly be an individual and just be an individual, even if that means cutting off certain conversations with people, cutting off certain locations with places, and cutting off certain habits with things, and back to the people again, cutting off certain people. So that's the same thing. Once again, you got to detach from what you are associated with in order to gain some form of stability in your own life, so your air can actually be in a container and don't just spread out to the most part that the 7 years go and your air is just scattered everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You want your air in a container. You want your air in a jar. You want something to ground it. You want something to stabilize, and you need to be starting to do that now. And during this actual week, and then we got Saturn, which is your other ruler sign. It's in Capricorn, so you're not dealing with too much negative energies there, but you just need to know that Mars is kind of kicking you up a little bit. It's making you verbally communicate a lot more due to the fact that Mars being in Gemini. So it's making you verbally communicate a lot more and making you want to reach out to be associated with yourself, with others a lot more, and that's not the time to do it. So keep that in mind. So keep yourself in a circumstance where you're becoming an individual with how you gain stability in your life. So you don't be leaning and backing on someone else or whatever you are associated with to help you gain stability in your life. And once you gain that stability for yourself, then you can go back out and be your natural sun, moon, and ascendant Aquarius ass once again and communicate and associate yourself with everything else in the world. But at least you have home straight. At least you got your stability straight. At least you got your job straight, your work, your foundation straight, your individuality, and you'll be good.
Amen. Pisces, we have the last judgment. This message is really simple. You have reached a place where your magic is truly contagious, and judgment is all about awakening. I even got the Ace of Pentacles. Judgment is all about awakening and really being led to your highest purpose. Well, Pisces, you are the judgment. You have the decision of who you're going to awaken and who you're going to put on. I'm going to say that one more time, Pisces. You had the third house for you is like the house of siblings, but it's also communicating your ideas. You're getting the team together. So you are going to be like, who around me is ready for what I have to offer? Who am I going to awaken right now? And know that whoever you choose to awaken, you have responsibility over what they do. You might awaken someone's magical ability and they may become evil, right? Kind of like in Star Wars, you're going to be responsible. Well, that person's going to be responsible for their evil actions, but you have to understand that the potential of your magic can awaken people's powers, but you have to make sure you don't just awaken anybody, but you're going to know. So trust that discernment and keep that in mind. And yeah, what you feel about Pisces?
Yeah, and that was perfect because yeah, all you guys is going through a tremendous learning process right now, a whole big old learn. And anytime anyone is going through a learning process, they actually be more aware than everyone else. It's just the turbulence that you're going through as far as this learning experience can kind of make you sheltered a little bit or overexpressive. So if you got those over external Pisces, you're gonna be hearing and seeing everything that's going on with them. If you got them extra passive ones, then they're gonna be disclosed. You're gonna be like, damn, where you at or whatever like that, because you're learning so much right now, and you got all the square energy. Now, for the most part, your actions, the way now look, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant Pisces, because look, it gets deep when it comes to y'all. Based upon this grand square that's going on with the mutable alignments. Now, for the most part, your ruler sign is in goddamn Sagittarius, which is square, but it's sharing the same sign. So for the most part, you guys are placed into a situation where you learning from your experiences and you're learning from each piece of it. It's like, it's not like every scenario. It's like every word, every feeling and emotion. You guys are learning from everything and gaining wisdom and knowledge from that. Also, by your sign being in your sign, as actually Neptune being in Pisces, you guys already have all the favor to be lost in your dreams. So for the most part, your experience might not be necessarily real, but you're learning from this experience. And anytime a person gets to learn from creativity, imagination, dreams, even unrealistic things, this makes them the highest creators in the world. You see what I'm saying? Think about people who make cartoons and stuff like that. All these type of and make metaphors behind it. This is creativity. So you got the highest creativity. You just gotta have to learn how to anchor it down. Now, also your actions and the way you act and how you see things may be opposite to other people right now. Maybe understanding. People may not be able to understand you right now. So just know that's the energy you give off. Even if you try to overly express yourself in an understanding way, people are not going to understand that, because you need to know that the moon right now is opposing your sun, moon, or ascendant. So it's putting you in a situation where just the way you are is at odds with other people right now. So keep that in mind. Just make sure that if you're not creating yourself as harmony and wanting to create a balance, then don't apply yourself at all, because it's just going to create an opposing or argument in some way, shape, or form. And you probably already feel this energy. You probably already feel this sense of not wanting to jump in this little jump rope system. You see what I'm saying? Y'all going through a jump rope system right now. And it's like, should I do this or shouldn't do this? I should not do this. Should I put this person on? I should not put this on. Back, bringing on to the point of peace dealer. You see what I'm saying? Should I participate in this or should not participate in this? It's like a jump rope type of system. And due to the fact of the moon being opposite to you guys, it's bringing that even more powerful right now. That emphasis is kicking in gear. Now, for the most part, you guys got Mercury sextiling you guys alignment. So communication is a little bit more fluidly right now, though. So you ain't lost in la la land when it comes to your forms of communicating. You actually can communicate a little bit more fluidly right now. It's your choice. It's if you want to do it or not. You in this jump rope system. Should I communicate or should not? Should I communicate? It's like you got the opportunity. That the opportunity is wide open, but it's like your choice to take it or not. It's like it's really all on you. Everything is on your lap, Pisces. It's really if you want to do it or not. It's like all on you. You got this little jump rope system. Now, you could jump into the negative attributes or you could jump into the positive attributes. You also got Mars. Mars is squaring you guys energies also. So right now, it's dealing with you learning from your passion, motivation, and your desires. So you got a bunch of choices on the table. You're like, damn, am I passionately involved in that or I don't really care about that? Am I passionately involved in this or I don't really care about that? It's like you in a whole little jump rope loop system right now. Jump through the right loop. That's all I can say. Yee-hee.
Amen. Well said. Jump through the right hoop, indeed. So we're going to step into the live ratings. Shout out to those of you who've already done. We're going to start with TR. So once again, for the interest of time, just so we don't spend way too long doing these, for those of you who are interested in a live reading, don't do super chat anymore. So if you go to the description box below, I have my PayPal, my Venmo, my Cash App. We're taking $20 for a specific question based off of your sun, moon, and rising. And I will also pull a card. So for the sake of time, for those of you who've actually done the 20, I'm gonna do those first. If any of you kind of, please just do that or more. If any of you do less, I'm gonna have to skip you so that we can get to the other ones who do 20, just so we're not here way too long. So the first one we have is TR. My DM is Venus in Scorpio, his sun in Sag. I'm an Aquarius with Venus in Pisces. I'm wondering if I should reach out. He's been on my mind as of late. Basically, tell me what's going on in my love life for the next 6 months. So what you feel about that, Dolo?
Hold on, run that back again. She's talking about 6 months. God damn, what kind of reading? Hold on, all right. What's her planet?
Well, she said her divine masculine is a Sagittarius with a Venus in Scorpio. And she's an Aquarius with a Venus and Pisces. I'm going to say right out the bat, if you're wondering if you should reach out, just reach out and see what happens, to be honest, because Venus is in Aries. So you want to shoot your shot. You don't want to wait for anything. You don't want to really be a waiter. You want to be actor. So I'll say that over the next 6 months really depends on you and what you both do. But Sagittarius and Aquarius is a good friendship. That's definitely for sure.
Okay, she an Aquarius?
Yeah, she's an Aquarius with a Venus and Pisces, and he's a Sag with the Venus of Scorpio.
Okay, hold on. Let me get this down. I gotta harness the energies. Okay, Aquarius sun, and she got a Venus and Sag, right?
Yep, sir.
All right, so her Sag match his sun or whatever like that. Okay, his Venus is Scorpio.
She got a Venus in Pisces. My bad, and he has a Venus in Scorpio.
Oh, she got a Venus in Pisces. Okay, so it share the same sign for the most part. Okay, you guys probably more friends than anything, to keep it honest with you. So you saying she's saying they broke up? Y'all broke up? I wish it was a voice thing on here. What was the question? Let me get the question.
Yeah, no, you're totally straight. It was a little. So she really wants to know if she should reach out to him because she's been feeling his energy and all that.
Oh, that's a personal thing, though. Okay, that's a personal thing right there. You want to know if you should reach out to him like that. Okay, now this is based upon a relationship. And how you deal with relationships. Now, you said your Venus is in Pisces. So a lot of times you might be in a dream world right now. So you might be imagining, should you reach out to him and things of that nature. And due to the fact that you have an Aquarius sun, this makes you detach and question yourself a lot. So for the most part, due to yourself questioning yourself a lot and you being lost in your own imagination, I say give it a little bit more time. Don't reach out right now. And I ain't saying don't reach out in those 6 months. That's half of a goddamn year. Now, goddamn it, you're going to reach out before 6 goddamn months. But for the most part, due to the fact that you have an Aquarius sun and you have a Venus Pisces, see, your Venus in Pisces is putting you in a situation where you love and appreciate and value the dream or your dream love or your imagination. So a lot of times you put this person in that imagination. Now, what you put in that imagination is should you reach out. Now that becomes that imagination. Now by your sun sign being in Aquarius, the way you act is questioning things, and you question and think and talk to yourself other than others like Gemini, or on a one-on-one level like Libra. So you're considering talking to yourself. So now you're questioning yourself, should you reach out or not? But due to the fact that your Venus is in Pisces, I'm letting you know that no, give it time. You know what I'm saying? Because due to the fact that Venus being in Pisces, it makes things a little bit more cloudy for the sun in Aquarius. Now, if you have Venus in probably like in a different sign, it probably would have played out a little differently. But due to the fact that you got Venus in Pisces, you might be looked at as a little weird for reaching out a little too early. So give it a little bit more time. Give it some time right now.
And the card that I got concerning that is the Hangman. Literally what Dolo said, give it some time. You just kind of got to let it go, surrender. I'm all about kind of taking action. So do so, but don't have any expectations. Like, just if you do reach out, just let it go. Let things kind of occur. So the next one we have is for Patricia. She's a Leo sun, Virgo rising, and a Cap moon. Her 10th house is Gemini. So she wants advice on career.
And you said her 10th house is Gemini?
Yes, sir. Leo sun, Virgo rising, and then Cap moon.
All right, Cap moon. Hold on, what was her 10th house again?
Gemini.
Gemini. Okay. Damn, I wish I knew where Mercury was at. Wish I knew
Mercury
where
right now.
No, her Mercury.
Good question. If she gets it, I'll let you know.
But for the most part, just due to her energies itself. See, the moon always motivates the sun. So for the most part, your moon is how you react and respond and what makes you feel comfortable. So you're more business orientated. You like goals. You like to be structured. You like to organize. You like to draw out the blueprint. And then your sun is in Leo, which is fixed fire, being fixated on its own way of seeing and feeling about things, which is getting attention, maybe being center stage, maybe being dramatic and things of that nature. So you could be the type of person who could kind of gain stability in your life on creating a stage, not necessarily being on stage, but kind of like creating a stage for something. Now, when I say a stage, that could be anything. Doesn't necessarily have to be a play or something like that. You could create a stage as a form of employment, something around your neighborhood, something other people could be involved in, something that you can organize, that you can kind of structure, and it can kind of lead to one thing to another. And other people can be on that stage that you have created, and they'll be the ones who materialize the gain for it. But you'll be the one who'll be receiving all the material for it. So put yourself in a circumstance where you could create the platform. Even if you got like a little rinky-dink job right now, you probably work at Taco Bell. But say you got a best friend who know how to play guitar or something like that, or if you're a female, she know how to do hair or whatever like that, then you take your little bit of money and put something and create a stage for her. I guarantee that you will manifest a lot more out of the circumstance than she would, based upon that your Capricorn moon and then your sun being in Leo. You always have to make sure you're creating the stage. See, the moon motivates the sun. So you're doing Capricorn energies in a Leo way. So you get what I'm saying? So you have to put yourself into a boss mentality where you're organizing and gaining structure, but you're doing it in a way that it can be seen. Other people can see you for that. People can see you the one who know how to create the stage. You're not necessarily the one on the stage, on the mic, but people will look at you like you got the credentials and you're needed for this event or for this thing that's actually going on. And you'll always find yourself into good access with others, especially with that Virgo rising.
And because your Gemini is the 10th house, next Gemini season coming up, you're going to have full awareness and have an epiphany. We're going to have the sun moon conjunction 0 degrees Gemini. So you want, with the 4 of swords, to rest, okay? You're going to gain experience that's going to really allow you to change how you do because of added experience and knowledge. So rest, actually take time off your career and really kind of relax, because we have the Ace of Swords moving into Gemini season. Concerning career, you're just going to know what to do. You're going to implement a new idea in order to maximize your profits. So congratulations, especially as a Leo. This is designed for you to win, and the universe is hooking y'all up. Okay, so the next one we have is Elania Williams. Elania is a Leo, 23-degree Leo sun, 29-degree Leo rise. Okay, actually, no. 23-degree Leo sun, 29-degree Leo moon, 14-degree Aqua rising. So should I take a chance and fly home and grow, or stay alone and try and make it work out? It's been a hard 3 years. I'll answer this right off the bat. Jupiter is in Sag. So if you're not taking a chance, you're missing out. You totally want to take a chance. And I love how you said fly home. Regardless of what you're taking a chance to do, take that chance. Okay, 100%. And as a Leo sun and moon, this is definitely allowing you to really branch out. It's amazing that you said go home, because it's an aqua rising. Taurus is your 4th house. So that's really the urge you're feeling. And it's definitely worth it. And we have the Knight of Swords. So you're definitely going to come into some understanding of how to travel. You're going to be alerted to the truth of a situation that inspires you more and gives you the right perspective. And yeah,
right. And also, and I want to add on to that. Also, take precaution too. Yeah, go experience, but also take precaution too, because make sure that whatever is frustrating you to make you want to leave or do whatever you're doing, make sure that that's not a situation that you're repeating a past scenario, because Jupiter is in retrograde, so for the most part it's bringing past scenarios. So, and a lot of times whatever you think you want to do, it might be a different shape and form of a version of you repeating something that you have did before. It just looked like something else right now. It might just look like you getting enlightened or whatever like that. So be a little careful with it being in retrograde, but for the most part, by it being in your favor, yeah, take that chance. Just make sure you're taking precaution. Make sure you're for sure before you take that chance, and don't just take the chance off the leap of faith, because that chance may be a different version of what you're repeating from a previous time, based upon Jupiter being in Sagittarius. And also what you have in 29 degrees Leo, this puts you in a very powerful energy when it comes to the way you react and respond to the world and who you are. You know what I'm saying? It puts you in a fixed star. So you know what I'm saying? I want you to go do your research on the fixed star Regulus, which would be the manifestation of the energy of Archangel Raphael. Now, before you even get into that aspect, just start on Regulus and start on the fixed stars, and actually where it derived from, and how it started off in 0 degrees Cancer, and how it transitioned to where it's at now, and why it's on the equinox, and why it's this way, and it's unaligned on a degree level different than Antares and Aldebaran. But for the most part, before you even get into that, just make sure you understand the energy that you're carrying. You have a heavy influence just in general for yourself. So for the most part, wherever you go, you're going to cause transformations. So make sure that your state of being is in the right place, because wherever you go in the state of being that you are in is going to cause a heavy transformation. And the state of being could be negative or positive, but that's going to be the transformation that you create. So make sure that you're not repeating something, and therefore you in good space, and you're going to manifest whatever you're trying to experience in that jumping out energy that you are in right now, being this double Leo with this Aquarius ascendant.
Actual factuals. So the next one we have is Christian Garcia, Leo Sun, and then after Christian, we got you, Chrissy. Chrissy's gonna be we got Leo Sun, Cancer Moon, Libra Rising. Jesus. Okay, is there any advice that would be helpful to me for the upcoming transits? Well, I accidentally put this back together, but I got the Empress card for you and the Sun card. So, first of all, shout out to Christian, because you've been supporting every time I've been doing this new format. So I'm so glad to really hook you up with this good news. But I've noticed that consistently I've pulled very positive cards for you. And that makes sense. As a Leo Sun, you're stepping into such more independence and power. The Empress card is shining on you. It came with the Sun. I'm trying to find it. But the Empress card is shining her abundance. This week is going to really show you how much support you have. It's going to bring out greater beauty within you. It's going to really help your finances and love step into a greater level of abundance. So as a Libra rising, this is going to break out into the 9th house in Gemini season. You really just want to ask yourself, how comfortable are you around people as you develop your psychic ability? Because a whole lot with your Cancer Moon is going to sense psychically how genuine people are. I would say this upcoming transit and week is to just really count your blessings, because you're going to get blessed completely, especially with Venus that will enter the mix. I couldn't find the Sun, but the Empress for sure is showering her blessings on you. And yeah.
All right.
That's what it
is. So Yeah, you know, when it comes to your love and things of that nature, it's going to be focused on your relationships and how you relate to people, places, and things of that nature. So that's where your love is at right now. Your love is how you relate to people, places, and things. The things that you are appreciating right now is based upon your relationships and your connects and your networking skills and things of that nature. So keep that in mind also. And it's putting you into a situation where this week, now look, your moon is in Cancer. So the way you react and respond to things is in an emotional way. But a lot of times you may express too much of these things to the point that it becomes overwhelming for others. So make sure that you don't put yourself in a situation where you're doing too much of that this week due to the fact that the sun is still in goddamn Taurus. So people are going to be looking at you like you're not making sense. And you might be thinking that you're just expressing yourself because you care about the circumstance, situation, person, place, or thing. But people are going to be looking at you like you're not necessarily making sense. So make sure you don't be expressing too much of what you got going on internally right now. Kind of keep that hindered in a little bit. But for the most part this week also you got Virgo trining your moon. So for the most part, the way you react and respond has a gift of causing other people to react and respond also. So that could be in a negative or positive way based upon your actions and how you correlate things based upon how I just showed you. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not overly expressing what's going on internally and you're being calm, cool, and collected, this is the way other people are going to be around you. The moment you start to react and respond volatile and overexpress deep things that don't need to be expressed, this is how others they're gonna be like that around you. So it's like you get to pick and choose what you manifest around you based upon how people are going to act. So for the most part, your actions is going to manifest into other people, how they act around you. So it's like the ball is in your court based upon how you're relating to people though. So keep that in mind also. When you got this Libra rising, all that is going to be in your area of relationships and how you relate to people, places, and things due to Venus being in your 7th house.
So next we have Chrissy. Chrissy is Libra sun, Cancer rising, and Gemini moon. And we have the Two of Pentacles for you, which is so dope. The Lord of Harmonious Change. This is all about work arrangements and really all about putting yourself in a position to capitalize based off of your own productivity. So as a Cancer rising, this energy is coming through your 11th and really associating you with the right connections and having you manifest like all the perfect dreams and wishes, you know, with all the relevant people in your life, you know, are legit and for you. And of course, this makes sense with the Two of Pentacles because Jupiter is in your 6th, pimping out your lifestyle. So this is really encouraging you to trust your instincts and with multiplying your income streams. You have a really great opportunity this week to make a lot of money. Okay. And yeah, what do you have else?
Yeah, a lot, and that's keyword. Yeah, a lot of money because you goddamn it, you said what she Cancer rising? Cancer rising, right? Yeah, Cancer. Your Libra sun is already putting you in good favors and things of that nature. Then you got this double air going on. So for the most part, you create opportunity. Well, you got this gift of communicating and putting yourself into the right opportunities, right people, places, and things. So for the most part, you already got that gift. And then you got things working for you this week because you're going to have the moon transiting your 3rd house. So with the moon transiting your 3rd house, all those kind of interactions is going to be in your local arena, dealing with things that you're familiar with. Dealing with the circumstance and the situation that can manifest in your things that's in arm reach, things that you can grab, things that you can touch, aka material, things that you can put in your house, things you can put in your room, things that's dealing with familiar people, and all these things can be manifested into your area as far as social networking, things you're trying to align yourself with. You just have to make sure that yourself is open enough for that, which you are a Libra sun, so you kind of open for these things. It's just that Cancer rising sometimes gets in the way. You know what I'm saying? And then you already sextiled up with these energies, with the moon being in your 3rd house naturally, but the moon is adding influence there. So it's making you react and respond to your surroundings right now and what's in your local arena right now. So keep that in mind. And then by you already being communicative, you're going to create a bunch of opportunities for these things to play out in a lot of different scenarios, whether negatively or positively. But you can make some money and do a lot of things this week based upon who you networking with and your surroundings.
Dope. So next we have Rebecca White. Rebecca is a Leo rising, Sagittarius sun, and Virgo moon. Okay. Rebecca wants to know, will there be a commitment with the Aquarius man in me? Where is it going with the Aquarius man in me? So great question. Astrology can give you potential for commitment, but as far as if there's going to be commitment, that depends on the Aquarius man. Dolo and I can break down if he may commit or not, but that's all depending on where his head is at. I can say as a Sagittarius and his and as Aquarius, both of you are composite in Capricorn. So where your relationship is going is forcing both of you to really transform your value systems and your integrity. Both of you share an unbreakable bond of integrity. And as a Leo sun, as a Leo rising, this man is in your 7th house. So you really want to have an open talk and see directly how deeply committed he is. All right. And yeah. Oh, and the card that I have before Dolo goes in is the 2 of Pentacles. So what can foster commitment is to try and get him involved in practical projects that you're working on through physical action and activity.
Right. Yeah. Because commitment, you're not even really going to know anything from the circumstance or the situation until the moon go into Aquarius. You see what I'm saying? Right now, the moon is just in Virgo right now. So it's putting you into a situation where you're caring more about your values, and you probably value this person right now. So this is what you're reacting and responding to at the moment. You're reacting and responding to your values, what you have to offer to the world. You may feel like you don't have what it necessarily need, or you don't have what it takes in order for this person. Like you're going to be going through all of that. And then you're going to be looking around in your surroundings and things of that nature and reaching out and communicating with others. Then you're going to be more concerned about home. You might feel like home is unfulfilled and things of that nature. Then you're going to get into some creative aspect and feel like you need to get out or something like that. Then you're going to start to feel like you need to work on something and shit like that. And then once the moon get into Aquarius, that's where you done already worked on yourself and did all those scenarios and energies. And then that's when it's going to be in a situation where you're going to actually see this actually play out. You know what I'm saying? You're going to actually, but things have to work out, and it's going to have to go through that 6th house. It's going to have to go through that 3rd, that 4th, that 5th, that 6th, all the way to it get to the 7th house, because all the other planets then left that area of your life. See, right now, when we talk about Venus is in somewhere in your goddamn 9th house right now. So for the most part, it's putting you into a situation where your love is about you're supposed to love your experiences right now, your wisdom and knowledge, your meanings and reasoning. So if you got that good sense, that deep down sense inside you right now, like this ain't even something that's going to work anyway, then you need to love and value that. You know what I'm saying? Love and value that, because everything that left your 7th house, and the only thing you got trying to put itself in that situation is that's out the way also. You need to keep that in mind. And so it's like it's really no planets transiting your 7th house. So you have to wait till the moon get into the 7th house to see the actual movie play out on whatever, if this person going to commit or not, or if you're going to see a sign if they're going to commit. Because that was the question, right? If a person going to commit or not, right? So yeah, you're going to see a sign when the moon go into your 7th house. That's when you either going to see a sign, or this person going to actually commit. But you're going to have to go through the process of it finishing up your 2nd house, the moon finishing transiting your 2nd house, aka you reacting and responding what kind of value you have to offer to the world. The person that you want, you may have everything to offer to the world, everything, but when you give it, you feel like that's not enough, and you might be over this person in some type of way, but it still don't play out that way. So you're going to have to go through that wave of emotion. Then you're going to have to go through the wave of emotion of seeing your surroundings, seeing who really like that in your surroundings, because you might have to look elsewhere. So that little peak of energy of you feeling like you might have to look elsewhere, you have to go through that. Then go through seeing if you're home, seeing if these people are the right people to bring into your comfort zone or your comfortability or your privacy or not. You're going to have to deal with that. Then you got to deal with the creative aspect, get creative about it and express yourself a lot more, then work on that, whatever failed, and perfect it. And then therefore, boom, the moon is slide into your 7th house after that. And then you'll be able to see the sign if this is the actual person that's going to be committed, or if you want this person to commit or not.
Nice. Very well said. So so far we have 5 left. Davida is a Sag Sun, Leo Moon, Libra rising. Glad you mentioned your Uranus and Pluto and Virgo. By the way, conversion culture, if you're watching, please comment below your sun, moon, and rising. I see you forgot to put that in the notes, so we're going to hold off for you. But Davida, we have Uranus and Pluto and Virgo. So as a Libra rising, Sag sun, Leo moon this week is going to really help you break through when it comes to how deeply you perceive your influence with other people, because the 8th house transit for you is all about dealing with other people's resources as an agent that can connect people into greater ascension. Because with Jupiter in your sign, you have the wisdom and knowledge needed to set people forward. And it's not a coincidence that you mentioned you have Uranus and Pluto and Virgo, because that's really the key. The moon's going to be triggering this at the beginning of the week, and this is going to so very powerfully key you into details about people that other people wouldn't have the wisdom to notice. So you're really going to have to draw boundaries. And thank you, JR. Really ask yourself, how deeply intimate are you willing to be when it comes to kind of connecting more authentically with the right people. And we have the Lord of Great Strength, Moon in Sagittarius, the Knight of Wands, urging you to stay perseverant. Your experiences have allowed you the wisdom you have. So you're so close to completing this cycle, especially with the 3 of Cups. You don't want to really give up on certain friendships right now, because they're getting ready to break through. Very much so.
Yeah. So, okay, we're dealing with the Sag, Leo, and Libra. Yeah, so
Yes.
for the most part, yeah, similar energies to the last Libra ascendant and things of that nature. Look, when it comes to your love and appreciation and value and relativeness and things that you're willing to compromise with, a lot of times that's dealing with your relationships and how you relate to people, places, and things. And then by you having this Sag energy, you need to know that you need to be careful with your actions also, because people may be thinking you're doing things backwards or in reverse also. So be careful of that too. You know what I'm saying? Because your ruling sign is in goddamn is in your sign and things of that nature, but it's in retrograde. So it's putting you into a situation where your actions, people are looking at you, people are paying attention to you, they're paying attention to your advice, but it may not necessarily be in a way that you think you're coming across. So people may be taking your advice and thinking other things about it and stuff like that. So be careful how much you express into others, because you might be expressing yourself in a way that other people start to look at you negatively and start to look at you like they don't need to be telling you everything and things of that nature. So be aware of that also. And then during this week, you know what I'm saying, it's still, you know, your actions and the way you act could cause volatile moments amongst yourself and others, and arguments and things of that nature, due to the fact of Mars being in Gemini. So keep that in mind also. Anytime you jump into your passions, your motivations, and just you being you, Sun, oh yeah, we're dealing with the sun sign. This you being you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times your actions could put you into a situation where other people will look at you like, okay, this ain't what they passionately involved. A lot of people just getting frustrated and angry with your actions. So just how you act may be flipping people off. So like kind of chill out on participating yourself with everybody right now until Mars move over also, because Mars is getting ready to go into Cancer. Once Mars move into Cancer, that's going to be a little bit more better energy for you, because for the most part, you know, Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. So you're going to share a lot of those type of energies, to the point that wisdom and knowledge is going to be placed out within passion in a way that's a little bit more your energy. So for the most part, keep that in mind also. So yeah, you know, just try not to be expressing yourself too much amongst other people, because people may be a little bit yancy from your actions at the moment right now for no apparent reason. You may get on people's nerves for no reason at the moment, especially if you are in a relationship, especially if you are married right now. A person might just get upset with you because you left the box of cereal open or something like that, and they ain't never get mad before, but they got mad this week. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind, like little stupid stuff like that.
That's so real. So next we have Juan Yi. Juan asked an amazing question. Juan is a Pisces sun, Leo moon, Virgo rising, Venus in the 7th house. And Juan wants advice for how to manifest sacred sexuality, if I have that right. Sacred partnership in physicality. So Venus in the 7th house, which means it's in Pisces. Great question, because even though I'm answering this question for you, Juan, this answer applies to so many people, because you're representing an archetype that a lot of other people are having to play out. And Juan, that means you have to be uncompromisingly yourself. You cannot compromise for anybody. You have to be the parts of you that's not even the most acceptable socially, because you as a Pisces are providing this divine experience. You are the Neptune connect for so many people, and Venus coming into your 3rd is going to open the doorway for you to start communicating your authentic thoughts, your authentic self towards people. So the advice I have for you sounds very cliche, I'm not going to lie, but it's honestly to be you. And to understand and developing sacred partnership, you are the sacred element of the partnership. So people need to actually see who you are. And as long as you are quintessentially yourself and not letting the Virgo rising make you feel that you have to change to kind of, you know, meet people at their level, let people meet you at your level. And we have the Ace of Pentacles, which is talking about new grounded, you know, projects. In order to really manifest this, first of all, it's saying you will manifest this, but it's saying to ground it. Don't let it just be romantic. What is a project that's meaningful that you can build with someone and start it based off that? Because that's what's going to give it foundation with a pure soulmate with the Six of Cups, which you're being blessed with right now, by the way.
Right. And anytime you want to access your energies, you want to make sure you're utilizing your alignments the right way, which is your moon first and then your sun. So for the most part, by you being a moon Leo, the way that you react and respond and how you manifest in this world is due to the fact of dramatic, or I don't want to say dramatic, but let's say energies of expression, passion, being creative, being center stage, seeking attention. Now, when I say seeking attention, that doesn't necessarily mean popular. It just means getting attention into any circumstance that you are in, within your relationship, your children, whether you're the breadwinner or whatever you're being the center stage of the circumstance that you are in. This is something that you need to praise, something you need to be proud of, and something you need to hold your head up high and have your shoulders up high. Now, your magic comes from you being able to filter that energy through a Piscean energy, aka make all that creative ability look dreamy, make it look imaginative. So if you make music, make sure that all that creative energy that you put into your music, make sure you put it in a dreamy way. So if you want to create some indirect, direct type energies, do that. That's how a person pick up your energy, your sexual energy, or your energy of gravitating and manifesting and things of that nature. You have to utilize the Leo qualities in a Piscean kind of way. You have to make it look Pisces. So when you're looking at Leo, that's like trying to be center stage, trying to gain attention, or if you have to do some type of event, some type of dramatic type of moment in order to draw out a person's feelings or draw out how they see about you, make sure you're doing that in a form of a Pisces way, aka in a form of music, in a form of art, in a form of poetry, in a form of drawing, in a form of making metaphors, hypothesis between things, even if you're being indirectly direct. So what I mean by that is if you're leaving a text towards people and things of that nature, probably present something that makes sense to what you want to present to them, but make it be something else. So say like if you want to ask somebody out on a date, once you send them a song that's about asking somebody on a date, or send them a movie that's about a date. You know what I'm saying? Something that's not necessarily you asking directly, but it's like an indirect signal. And therefore, that's you utilizing your moon in a Piscean way. You're getting attention in a dreamy kind of way. You're being center stage in a creative kind of way, or in a way that's dealing with wisdom. And therefore, that's how you draw people right to you. But by you having that Virgo ascendant, a lot of times you may close that off. You might think too hard, analyze too much about personal issues, think too hard about another person's personality, how they're gonna react. So don't let that Virgo close it off, though. As long as you don't let that Virgo close it off, let the Leo and Pisces work.
True. I almost forgot to mention the Leo, but that's very pivotal. So I was wrong. Conversion culture is Rebecca. Shout out to Rebecca. Shout out to Carly Cosmo. Thank you for that comment. Rebecca, really cool people. So she's an Aries sun. I think late Sag rising. Could be wrong, but I know she's an Aries sun and a Capricorn moon. So based off of that, is your rising Sag? I know that you have Uranus and Saturn and Sag, but you know, as an Aries, it's totally go time more than ever, which is great considering what you do, because you're definitely going to be able to network with so much more powerful people. And now what I'm really picking up for you as an Aries especially is you now have something to really, man, you have something concrete to show people and say, here, this is the work I have. This is why you want me on your team. This is why I'm very valuable. Not that you have to prove it, but you definitely have something that's going to really be gravitating people towards you, which makes sense with the Princess of Swords, which is saying to communicate with people your intentions. Ask questions that people haven't heard before. Ask questions that kind of reveal people's quirks, because you're going to be tuning into that and really formulate your conversation in that. You're going to be really, with the conversations you have, gaining truth from people very, very accordingly. So
yeah, that's a perfect segue, because yeah, you're gonna be forced to stabilize your relationships that you have been accumulating anyway, because due to the fact of you being a Aries, you know, Venus have been in our sign. So for the most part, we have been putting ourselves out there, and the way people have been seeing relationships or relating or love in general, we have been the examples for that, because I'm an Aries also. So for the most part, we're going through a situation where Venus is getting ready to get up out of our sign and going to Taurus. So we're going to have to stabilize what we have created, aka the foundation of the relationships that we have created, what we have materialized, what we have gained as a form of structure, and something that we have looked at as a form of comfortability. We're going to have to ground that, and we're being forced to ground that right now also. And due to the fact that our ruling sign Mars is being in Gemini, and it's actually getting ready to go into Cancer right now, we're actually going to be in a hermit time. We're going to be in a time where we're going to be secluded to ourselves anyway. So we're not planting the right seeds right now to when it's the hermit time comes and we're to ourselves, we may not have what we want in that space with us, aka unfulfillment, aka we're going to feel like we didn't accomplish, we're going to feel like we didn't bring these things with us and things of that nature. So for the most part, right now is a period of time, especially during this week, is to finalize what you have created. Make sure the love that you have put out there, the people you have been relating to, the things that you have been compromising with, make sure it's real during this week. Therefore, when it's time to go in the hermit stage, when our ruling sign going to goddamn Cancer, and we have to be calm, cool, and collected, regardless of what we have planted, goddamn it, we got to make sure we have in our space what we created, and make sure we don't get in our space what we don't want, which we got to do right now. You know what I'm saying?
Amen. So we have two more. Shout out to Sandy, said, I don't know if anyone noticed, but my energy shifted during the live. The cool thing about this is Dolo's an Aries, I'm a Gemini, so we share energy in Taurus, and every time we collab like this, we're enacting Uranus and Taurus's energy. So it's like a free shift. It's a total shift that happens at a subtle level. So the second to last we have right now is Nancy, Sag Sun, Sag Moon, Gemini Rising. And I think the question you asked was really genius. As a Pluto Libra, where is my energy focused of best use right now? And as a mutable sign, you know, we're not the most focused, although we have great potential to. So as a Gemini Rising, this puts all your Sag energy in the 7th. With your Sag Sun and Moon, you are definitely a wild card. And as a wild card with Jupiter evolving your energy and Taurus in your 6th, you want to put all your focus on your lifestyle, your habits, and your behaviors, because as a Gemini rising, this is going to fundamentally change your spirituality. This is going to fundamentally expose subconscious habits and patterns that need to be released, so that once we step in a Gemini season, you're back into understanding the truth of who you are. Mars is leaving your 1st. So you want to really, once again, focus on how other people are influencing your lifestyle and routine. Okay. And we have the Princess of Swords, which is coming up a lot because of Mars and Gemini, and the Hangman. Really surrender. You're going to really be alerted to the truth of a situation that's going to make you think very differently about how you interact with other people, and just kind of fall back and let whatever come accordingly. Okay.
So she want to know what's going on. What was her question? She just want to know what's going on this week.
She wants to know where's the best place to focus her energy.
Okay, the best place to focus her energy now, by she being a Sag, first and foremost, right now, she needs to know how to like temper the way she's reacting and responding to things, because for the most part, the moon is in Virgo. So you need to know how to not react and respond too fast right now. You know, Sagittarius is y'all react and respond real fast, real quick, and things of that nature. I'm a Sag moon, so I already know what the fuck going on. So, you know, try not to react and respond too fast based upon you thinking you know what's going on. You ain't got all the knowledge. You don't know what everybody thinking. You don't know how everybody feeling. So don't try to react and respond too fast. That's actually what's going on right now. Also, especially we got then we got Venus putting you into a situation where love and appreciation was in your favor. So a lot of times, don't bite too much. Don't have your eyes bigger than your mouth right now, because you didn't had a lot of things on your lap in your favor. And a lot of times you might start to take advantage of these things also. So don't take advantage of your relationships, because the relationship might not be as tight as you think it is at the moment also, based upon whoever you're in a relationship with. That not just a person. I mean, not just a relationship as a partner, but siblings and all these things. They might not be as tight as you think they are. You might think you have a little freedom or a little leeway to express yourself in certain ways that may not be good for the circumstance or situation. And you might just burn a bridge by doing that. So be careful of that also, especially. And then when you said she's a Gemini ascendant.
Yep.
Gemini ascendant. Oh shit. So you got Jupiter going on in your 7th house also. So past experiences when it comes to your relationships in general is going to be popping all up in your life right now and forcing you to gain wisdom and knowledge and extract wisdom and knowledge and place new meanings and reasonings on these things right now. So that's going to be an energy focus also right now. Past relationships or past ways of how you handle relationships or past ways of how you related to these people, places, and things. So kind of sit back and check out or check yourself how you've been relating to people, places, and things. And therefore, you won't be reacting and responding in ways to make people learn from you like you're kind of negative due to the fact by the moon still being in Virgo. So keep that in mind also. Then you're placed into a situation where also this week, you know, we still got Neptune and Pisces. So this has been going on for the couple months and things of that nature. So, you know, you're still dealing with this energy also. You need to learn from the dreams and the illusions that you might be in and things of that nature, because that's a double square. Gemini is a square and your sun and moon is square in Neptune. So you're feeling this energy extra emphasis right now. And then when you got motherfucking the moon transit in Virgo right now, you're extra feeling unsure. You're extra feeling indecisive. You're extra feeling like you need to learn a little more before you do something. You extra feel like you got to be a little bit more curious, get a little bit more instructions and things of that nature. So right now you're in that period of time right now, chilling out, not being too expressive, not being too out there and things of that nature, and learning from other people's reactions and how they respond to things. And that should be your energy focus right now. Not putting yourself out there too much and being extra expressive and explosive. Just observing.
Very, very well said. And last but not least, Sandra, I'm not going to lie. I think your question is the best question. It's straightforward and it's very inspiring. Taurus sun, Cancer rising, Aries moon. We have Mars that's going to go over your rising. We have Uranus and Venus that's on your sun. And then Mercury and Gemini, thinking of starting my own business and asking my current boss to be my partner. Genius. Is it a good idea? Duh, of course. 100%. I think that is an amazing question. I think that even if your boss is not open to being your partner right now, you still want to start this business. It is the perfect time for someone like you to start their business. Perfect. Literally have Pluto and Saturn in your 7th. So this is about making partnerships. We have the 8 of Wands, the Lord of Swiftness, which is actually encouraging you to put things underway quickly. Once you make that decision to start your business, things are going to fall into place very quickly. I think it's genius that you're going to approach your boss to be your partner. Don't really take it personal if your boss is too busy or they're not able to, but great idea. And yeah.
All right, hold on. So, all right, she said Taurus sun. What was her moon again?
Cancer. Oh, no. Taurus sun, Cancer rising. And let me see one more time. Mercury and Gemini. And Aries moon. Aries moon.
Okay, Aries moon.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, this is a good favorable time then. Also, because that's a good segue into bringing, like I said, Venus. You got this Aries moon, and by Venus being in Aries and Venus getting ready to transition into Taurus, and by you being a sun sign Taurus, it's time to finalize your relationships. It's time to finalize what needs to be in your space and what don't need to be in space in time when it's getting ready to go into hermit mode. So think about that. Now you're not necessarily going into hermit mode because your sun is in Taurus, but for the most part, it's putting you in this energy by your moon being in Aries. So for the most part, this might be what you manifest in your life. You might manifest other people being in hermit mode, other people being a little distant, other people being a little cold. So if you got any kind of relationship right now that you don't want to disappear right now it's time to finalize it and let them be sure, like, okay, I'm gonna be around, or I want this to be around. So for the most part, taking it into consideration that this is what you want to ask your boss, yeah, this is a perfect time to do that. Let your boss know that you're the person that want to do that. Otherwise, your boss gonna pick somebody else. But all the energy and all the stars is aligning in your favor right now. Now, the only thing that can actually go wrong, well, it ain't really too much can go wrong, is just with the trine and Jupiter being in retrograde. So for the most part, it may make you present yourself in a way, in an old outdated way, to the point that you have to learn. So you might have to experience another form of rejection in order for you to learn what to do and what not to do next time. But it's like minor, you know what I'm saying? Because it's still in your energy, it's still in Sag. And for the most part, by your moon being in Aries, that's giving you a little bit favorable time. Pardon me. That's giving you a little bit of favorable energy that could go in your favor. So keep that in mind also. And then by your sun being in Taurus, it's already your flight day. So for the most part, things should be looking up for you anyway. Where one door closes, another one open. And it's always like that for the month of the sign that the sun is going through. You know what I'm saying? And by the sun going through Taurus right now, even if the manager don't take that offer, another offer is going to pop up out of nowhere. So keep that in mind. And you're going through a lot of changes and things of that nature anyway, with Uranus being here. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. Also, a lot of unique and individual changes, but also your individuality is being placed on the forefront. Everybody is seeing your individuality. So if you got a good spirit in your solar system, then you got a good individuality light that you're giving off to others, aka whatever you're trying to get into should be in your favor.
Well said, and another great, amazing episode. Once again, I want to really just deeply thank all of you in the live chat. You guys have been really supportive, and the comments have been really well too, well-meaning. And thank you guys who support us, especially with these live readings. You don't have to, so the fact that you do really means a lot. And once again, really grateful that we can do this, every Sunday. So stay tuned for the next episode. This is really more or less the formula we're going to do. We'll break down the weekly transits. We'll break it down for the 12 zodiac signs, and then we'll do live readings. So you're welcome to comment down below any suggestions, any comments, any other encouraging words. Thank you guys so much again for staying tuned. And do you have any final words, Dolo?
Shit, y'all motherfuckers come back next week and ride this motherfucking flight. Goddamn flights. Air.
Woo! All right. Y'all stay blessed. Y'all stay blessed as always. And until next week, peace.